Good morning, Raptor freaks. Lexi Outs here. It is Sunday, and instead of a Sunday special report, we've got a reaction and a preview today. Double duty for the games today for the Raptors. Last night, beating the Oklahoma City Thunder by 25 points in their first Summer League game, and now they're going to play the Denver Nuggets tonight at 9:30 Eastern Time in Vegas. Yeah, and I'm telling you, the Denver team looks worse than the Thunder team when I'm looking at it on paper. And well, a lot of what I said in the preview yesterday, it kind of happened last night. Honestly, if we hadn't did kind of crappy in the third quarter, we would have blown them out by way, way more. Now, one of the things that is important in this summer league is point differential. So, Raptors fans, we do need to run up the score. And it was really important that the Raptors did that run in the fourth quarter last night against the Thunder to make the score 25. Because that means right now, as it is in the standings after the first day of Vegas Summer League, the Raptors are in second out of all the NBA teams there that won games. We had the second highest point differential. The Orlando Magic won their game by 27. So they are technically number one, and we are number two. Now, those standings are going to show us alphabetically down at the bottom of this bullshit. They don't want to put us in the right place for our summer league standings, ESPN and other places, NBA. That's fine. I know the truth. We are second in the summer league as of the first day of competition, winning our game by 25 points. Orlando's the only team that beat their team more than we did, and that was only by 2 more points. So in some ways, if there's going to be tiebreakers near the end to decide who gets to play for the summer league championship, hopefully the Raptors are putting themselves in the position to do that. That's very, very important. I really, really love what was said by the players after the game in their interviews afterwards. Brandon Carlson, Grady Dick, Jamal Shed, all saying that the win was the most important. Jamal Shed going on and on about, I'm really proud of our guys. We played together, we played right, and we got the win. And that's all that matters. They kept asking him about his own personal performance. He didn't give a shit. Jamal Shed saying, I don't care. I care that the team won, and we played together, and we played in a winning way, and enough guys did good stuff that we won. That's what Shed cares about. He's not worried about his personal stats. He's not worried about this or that. He's worried about the Raptors winning and him contributing to help them win. And I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm going to do the 5 stars of the game. I'm going to go over the team stats. I'm going to analyze the box score from last night a bit, talk about what we saw from the Thunder and from our guys. With very exciting, fun game to watch. And yeah, as annoying as the announce crew was, Jared Greenberg, you're horrible at your job, my guy. You know, Grady Dick did not find that note from Ochai Agbaji in the locker room, you idiot. Do your research and find it out. I mean, in some ways, it just shows that they really have an afterthought when everything with the Raptors. In fact, the way they were doing the scoring at the beginning of the game, all kinds of things. ESPN, you suck. You were horrible at your job. And when you realized it was about to be a rout for the Raptors, well, you had to change the way you were trying to do the game. Interviews with Chet Holmgren and showing Nikola Topic. When that team is getting their ass handed to them, yeah, it is what it is. And I love Masai Ujiri sitting down with them in the second quarter, speaking his truth about the Raptors and what we are doing. And Candace Parker's buying in. Of course, Candace's brother is a former Raptor alumni, Anthony Parker. So she better have respect for this team, a team that put her brother on the map. And then, Jared Greenberg saying, hey, thank you, Masai. We'll see you later. And Masai's like, no. No, I ain't leaving. I'm going to stay here till after. In some ways, I know why he did that. Because it's optics. In some ways, it's ESPN saying, oh, yeah, we can kick you out. Masai's like, no, I ain't having that. I'm a power player, and I'm going to sit the fuck right here and stay right until I want to get up. So, yeah, Jared Greenberg, eat a dick. And, do a better job. I understand. Y'all are biased. You're not going to cover the Raptors fairly. You're going to completely kiss the ass of the American team X, whatever is playing us. And, yeah, that crowd was very pro OKC also, booing the hell out of our team and really making a lot of noise during free throws. It didn't matter. Our guys still kicked some ass, routed that team, and the Raptors were undeniably the better team, the most talented team on the court between the Thunder and the Raptors last night. So, yeah, go ahead and boo OKC fans that traveled to Las Vegas. Go ahead and talk trash, Jared Greenberg. It don't matter. Masai's not getting up, and the Raptors are routing your ass, is what I got to say about that. Yeah, real quick, like say that to Jared Greenberg, the idiot. Yeah. All right. Let's see what y'all are seeing in the comments. Maybe it'll help direct me in how I want to go about this reaction and preview for today. Fiercely saying, good morning, fam, and happy Sunday. I was able to watch the replay of yesterday's game and was very impressed. Like Lex says, the future looks quite bright. There you go. I was thinking about I should just put my shades on for the whole stream today because the future is looking bright. 10 buck three. That you got to wear shades. That's right. I got a weird teacher. He wears dark glasses. Things are looking great and they're only getting better. Oh, I'm doing all right. I'm getting good grades. The future's so bright. The Raptors got to wear shades. That's right. Trevor J is here. Trevor J is our guy on the site. He was at the Summer League game in the crowd last night. Commissioner of Fun, Trevor J. He's saying, good morning, Raptors family. It is very early in the morning for me. Is being out at the game yesterday. It was a breath of fresh air to see how well we performed. It has been a while. I know that was probably a joy. And I hope that all the dismay of the Oklahoma City Thunder fans in the crowd was palpable to you, Commissioner Jay, while you sat there and took in the grandiose sight of the young Raptors class coming in and how badass they are. You know, Jared Greenberg trying to say on the broadcast, oh, Utah's, most of their team is going to be on their team of their summer league because and a similar thing with the Raptors. Sure, there may be like 6 guys that played for the Raptors summer league team that are going to play for the Raptors this season in the league. That's just how it is. I mean, we're young. We're rebuilding. So that's just how it is. Utah's rebuilding. We're rebuilding. That's just how it is. I don't care. In some ways, these guys are good. Did you see what they did, Jared Greenberg? Did you see what they did, you idiot? That's what I'll say to him. All right, let's talk about this real quick. Let's talk about my 5 stars of the game, first of all. I'm doing it again right now. When I deliberated over the number 1 star of the game between 2 guys that I felt like were deserving of it in certain ways. One guy, brand new, never done anything before, first ever kind of NBA Summer League game, absolutely looked fantastic, played his ass off and contributed in multiple ways. Another guy played for us last year, had a very down rookie season, then went up in the second half. So it wasn't an up and down rookie season. It was a down and up rookie season for Grady Dick. But yeah, he is my player of the game, number 1. I deliberated this because Grady did not shoot well. And there were some things I gave Grady as a test for this game last night. Be a good leader and show a efficient, good ethical game. Less turnovers, making you shots. But he didn't exactly do that. He had mistakes. He did miss all of his threes. But Grady figured out a way to be like Scotty and contribute in every kind of way otherwise to help his team win. And in some ways, that is amazing, even more amazing in some ways. If Grady just came out there and been the shooter, made the shots, not made any mistakes, it may not have been as impressive as what he did last night. Hitting the boards like crazy, making driving plays, taking charges, getting after loose balls. Grady Dick was all over the place, and he was fantastic. In fact, he's only 4 assists away from a triple-double. If he had gotten a couple more of those shots to his teammates that he passed to go in, well, who knows? Maybe he was going to F around and get a triple-double Ice Cube. Yeah, seriously. Grady was like that last night. I love to see it. Grady Dick, 18 points, leading scorer for the Raptors, 6 assists, 10 rebounds, 2 steals. He did have 4 turnovers, 6 of 17 from the field, but he was perfect at the line. And that was impressive because that crowd was hostile. That crowd was trying to mess up every single free throw we took, doing the DeAndre DeRozan to us. Yeah, that's annoying. But Grady was unflappable. 24 minutes. He was great. He was fantastic. I'm really proud of you, Grady. You showed leadership in a versatile way instead of just your role-playing way. And in some ways, I'll give you that pass on your shooting and not making any threes because, man, you were fantastic. The reverse up and under, the going right at guys and hit the and one. Yeah, that's all good stuff, Grady. I love seeing it. Now, my second star is the rookie that I alluded to, the Utah Ute, the big center, Brandon Carlson. Brandon Carlson, holy crap, fresh out of the box, ready to go, not taking any kind of a rookie, this is scary kind of moment. No, this dude was ready. He was ready right away, and boom, hitting shots right away, blocking shots right away, rebounding right away. Love it. Carlson, maybe a gem. We got to sink our claws in this kid and keep him around the Raptors for a while. He's undrafted. We got him after the draft. Once again, Masai and Bobby are geniuses. This kid looks really good. His shot is good. He had a mid-range shot that he hit too, not just the outside three. So, yeah, I'm really, really liking Brendan Carlson. I think a lot of y'all did too last night, seeing him block some shots and do some things out there. Very, very fun to see Brandon. He didn't shoot extremely well, but he took a lot of shots, 5 for 12, 3 for 7 from 3. Those are just gravy. He steps into them nice too. 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 blocks, a plus 24, the highest plus minus on the Raptors last night. Brandon Carlson, undrafted, 13 points. Yeah. Wasn't he cool? Yeah, you feel real good about this. And wasn't it nice to have the size in the matchup last night and dominate the boards and also be the big team bullying the other team? Because that's what it was like last night for us with Carlson, Comshay, and Mobo. Yeah, it was like that last night. We were bullying them. Yeah, my third star of the game is DJ Carton. DJ Carton, I wouldn't have guessed that DJ Carton would be one of my top 3 stars in this game. But, it really was him late that carried us to the win. He was 5 for 6. That's great. He only missed 1 shot, 2 for 2 from the 3-point line, and 1 for 2 at the free throw line. Well, I missed free throw. That sucks. And he did look like he got shook up for a second, maybe a little hurt. But right after that, boom, he's hitting threes. 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, a plus 13 with 13 points. DJ Carton steadying the ship near the end when it seemed like Oklahoma City was going to come up and try and steal the game at the end. In some ways, ESPN and the NBA wanted that. But no, the Raptors held it down. And DJ Carton's leadership as the point guard around that time in the game was crucial to keeping things on the right side of things. So good job, DJ. In some ways, you're the one who's kind of under the bullseye. I'm going to say this right now. As Jared Greenberg put it in the broadcast, you got your two-way, and then you got hurt immediately last season, and you didn't really get to show anything. In some ways, you know what? I'm not worried about the two-way for Comshay and Carlson. Those guys are bona fide made men in the Raptors. We're going forward with them. But DJ Carton, you are the one that's on a two-way that could be switched. And that's why this guy has really got to show up for Summer League. And I think this was a good first step. I really did hold my breath when I saw DJ get hurt for a second there, because I'm like, man, what is this with this guy? Is this going to happen again? No, he was fine. He finished the game, and he was a huge, huge part of why the Raptors made the lead big again by the end of the game. So good job, DJ Carton, my third star. Fourth star of the game last night is Jamison Battle. He came from out of nowhere, unknown, just like, all right. I wasn't even remembering who it was. I was like, is that Disu? Is that Disu out there hitting a three all of a sudden? No, it was Battle. Jamison Battle came just like Carlson and unflappable, ready to bomb threes and hit them. And he was a pleasant surprise. In some ways, Battle is not really a guy that I think is in our picture. Maybe he's a 905er this year. Maybe that's what's going to happen. We're grooming him for an Exhibit 10. He's going to be on a 905, and he has an opportunity possibly to leap up and get on the main squad. But I would like that because Jamison Battle was a baller, and he made his shots. Very, very nice to see an unknown guy just come in there and kick some ass. 4 for 6 from the field, 2 of 3 from 3. Made both his free throws. He was very good at the line. I was very happy because they were trying to mess with him. Only 1 rebound and 1 assist, but 12 points in 15 minutes. Battle, very productive, and just a pleasant, unknown surprise. We're going to have some guy, this is out of the blue, doing something. Jamison Battle was that guy last night. We knew Carlson would be pretty good, but he was way better than we thought. And Jamison, I didn't expect anything. Well, he came out and he did some good stuff. Now, the last star of the game, I could give it to Javon Freeman-Liberty, but I'm not going to. Because in some ways, Javon Freeman-Liberty just did what he always does. Put up a lot of shots. He was 5 for 15. He's not effective. I saw him once again in the game selfishly going for his own shot when he should be passing it off. And the Darko system does not dictate that, Freeman-Liberty. You're going against 2 defenders when Grady's open on the side for a 3. So in some ways, I'm not going to reward you with a star, JFL, even if you were one of the top scorers for our team last night, because you were high volume and low quality. If you ask me, 5 for 15, 1 of 6 from 3. 5 rebounds is great, though. I do like him being on the boards, a steal and a block, a +9 with 12 points in 16 minutes. JFL was really crucial in the second quarter, or like at the beginning. He kind of jump-started us. But, the second quarter, he was helpful too. Third quarter, really bad for the Raptors, not scoring a whole lot. But in the fourth, we turned it back on. Yeah, so, holding Oklahoma City to 10 points in the first quarter was absolutely fantastic. No, my 5th star is going to be Jamal Shed. I saw enough of Jamal Shed, not on a big, huge scoring level, but on a leadership level as a point guard. We saw a buzzer beater to beat the half to make a layup. That is a sign right there that shows that this guy's a baller. He's going to look at the clock. He's going to try and get something in there and happen within the time, and he was successful. There was other things I saw. There's certain level of defense that he was playing last night that was intense and very, very interesting. In fact, after the game, Jamal Shedd's talking about how he does it, is that, you know, how they do it. Jama's saying that he keeps his position in the right place and he stays right with them. It's a very, very tough thing to do on defense, but he does a really good job of staying with him. As he put it, he goes slow on him. Sometimes guys speed up on offense and they need to just slow down. Well, it's the same thing on defense some ways. Like guys will overplay on defense and they'll overplay. But this is the thing. If Jamal Shedd's going slow with the dribbler, with the player with the ball, he won't switch speeds on him where he shakes him. In some ways, that's part of the key to being a defender like Jamal Shedd, is you stay with the guy because they're going to try and shake you off and do every kind of little hezzy, little kind of dribble move, whatever, to try and shake you off. But Shedd's going slow and sticking with you like a very good dance partner. And he's going to leave your side. So that's a beautiful thing. So in some ways, I want to recognize Shedd for his leadership, for his clutch, and for also being efficient considering everything too. It's not that he scored a whole lot. It's just that he did some important things. 3 for 6, 50% from the field, 1 of 3 from 3. So he did hit a 3. He did miss both his free throws, which I did not like. 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and a steal. A +7 with 7 points. Now, there are other guys I can honorable mention. Ochai Agbaji was a powder keg of energy at times and doing some great stuff if he wasn't successful at times also. Comshay did not score, but he was an absolute beast on the board. I see he's been rewarded with an extra rebound since last night. He's got 9 rebounds now, 2 assists. Comshay is raw, but he is really, really good. Mobo showed a little fun pack of versatility while he was out there. 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 2 points with a putback. But yeah, Jonathan's going to be doing way, way more. Omari Moore had a couple bright spots too out there, getting a layup and doing a couple good things for the Raptors also. So yeah, a really good overall effort by the team in this game. As Shedd said, he was really proud of the guys playing together and playing right. And that's true. In some ways, we played right on both ends of the court. We played very well communicating on defense, and our defense was stifling. We really messed them up. They couldn't do nothing. Shedd was all over them on the backcourt, and when they got inside, Carlson was lurking. And that was an issue for Oklahoma City in a major way. And then on the other side of the court, unselfishness, passing the ball around to find the good shots and not try and force too many shots. JFL, but otherwise, other guys sharing the ball and finding good open looks and different things. Lots of good cutting, lots of good movement off the ball, lots of good hustle. In fact, I love seeing people like Grady Dick and Brandon Carlson run in for the offensive rebounds from way outside and get to the ball first. Some of it is just effort. Some of it is just being bigger and longer armed like Ulrich. But yeah, the rebounding was fantastic last night. Comshay is already a very, very good natural rebounder. And in some ways, he's only going to get better, guys. And man, his body is NBA ready. That kid is amazing. I'm really, really impressed with him. And over time, he's going to get so good, guys. I'm going to say that right now. Ulrich Comshay is the real deal. And he may not have scored last night. He may have missed everything he shot. But that dude can get rebounds. Let me just put it that way. Holy crap. Holy crap. Wow. Wow. All right, let's see what else y'all are saying. Tommy Dookie is here out on the West Coast, the emoticon giant. He's got who is that? Who is that, Tom? Is that oh, that's Jama. You put Jama in. All right, Jama's in. He's got the oil drums of 100% Canadian maple syrup. And there was some maple syrup poured on the game last night. Poured on real thick. Get a 20-point lead because it matters. Point differential matters in the summer league. And we want to be playing for the championship. So pour it on real thick tonight when we play the Denver Nuggets, who may even have a worse team than the Thunder that we played last night, especially since their one draft pick is injured now. And he will not be playing tonight. Holmes. Yeah, it's a sad, tragic thing. But yeah, other than that, they've got Strother and Pickett, the guys that played for them as rookies last year, and that's it. I'm looking at this Denver team for tonight, and I'm like, yeah, Jalen Pickett, Julian Strother, Hunter Tyson all have 1 year in the league. And these are draft picks from last year. Strother, of course, probably the best player on Denver tonight. But then I look at the rest of the team, and I'm like, Daron Holmes II got hurt. He's the only first-round pick, and the rest of them are all undrafted guys that are just coming in to try and make the summer league to get to the G League, let alone the Denver Nuggets. So yeah, I'll read the list. Let's do the Denver Nuggets team real quick. Jalen Pickett, Julian Strother, Hunter Tyson, Trey Alexander, Parker Braun, Cy Chapman, Walker Ellis, Amon Franklin, PJ Hall, Deron Holmes II, who is not going to be playing, Gabe McLaughlin, DC Tony, Jalen Williams, not any of those Jalen Williams that have anything to do with OKC, and Jameer Young. Maybe it is that Jalen Williams, the one that's not as good. Did they cut him and now he's on the Denver one? It's less confusing to not have the same name player on your team. So they're like, yeah, we got too many Jalen Williams. We're going to keep this Jalen Williams. It's got a brother named Cody who's coming in the league. And other Jalen Williams, you go play for Denver now. Because I think that's what happened, seriously. But actually, they're saying this guy has not played. So this is a brand new Jalen Williams. So there's 3 Jalen Williams. What am I going to do with my life? Why are y'all keep naming your kids Jalen Williams? Stop. Just stop, please. Pause. Tommy's got Grady and Brandon Carlson on blast. That's right. These guys showed up. And you know what I want to say about those two in particular? There's a natural chemistry between Grady Dick and Brandon Carlson last night. They did some two-man game that was very interesting. In some ways, it's like they were working off each other in a very, very interesting way. There was a chemistry, a real chemistry that was off those two players last night. Very, very interesting. Very interesting. Trevor J saying Grady was excellent. Chomche was grabbing everything. Where I was sitting, I could hear the coach giving him instruction where to be on defense. DJ Carton really turned it on in the end with 13 points. Yeah, Trevor J in the crowd, hearing Jama yelling Ulrich to where to go on defense. That's what I'm saying. This kid is so raw. He's 18. I think he's just like Siakam, where he didn't start playing till like 4 years ago. And this kid has so much to learn, but the raw physical potential of Ulrich Kamshe is off the charts. I'm going to just say that right now. Just looking at him, he's already like he's 18 years old. He's already NBA strong. He's already big and strong and quick. And in some ways, like they said at the combine, when they tested him, he's one of the fastest players for his wingspan and size. He's dangerous. He's going to be something really good, y'all. And you just saw the beginning of it last night. And he already looks like very dominant on the boards. He already looks like it. If he just focuses on being a monster on the boards and blocking shots, forget about the scoring. It's going to come. He'll get it. In some ways, if he can get a three-point shot, oh, my God, the whole league is in trouble then. Whole league is in trouble then. Yeah, Trevor J., thank you for being on site and going to the game tonight. See, this is the thing. Commissioner J's going to all the Summer League games for the Toronto Raptors. He is in Vegas this whole week, and he will be on site for every single one of the games. He's going again tonight for Denver Nuggets. That's right. This Nuggets team's in trouble, baby. Yeah, they don't even have a center. The Thunder had Kyler Kelly last night. We saw Kyler. Kyler is a nice guy. He's older. He's trying to make the league for a while. Well, he's no match for even a Brandon Carlson or an Ulrich Kamshe. It's just not a matchup. Well, the Nuggets ain't got jack shit for center. I think their tallest player is 6'10", and he's a power forward. So, yeah, we're going to dominate them again tonight on the boards. So get ready for that tonight, too. Yeah, we'll have to see how much the guys like Grady and Oshai play tonight. It could very well be that was it. You know, Grady, you did a great job. That's enough. You know, it could be. Who knows? We'll have to see. Maybe we'll get to see more from other players like Jacoby. Jacoby wasn't horrible. I mean, we could talk about Jacoby Walter real quick. I didn't really talk about him. 2 for 9 from the field, 0 for 6 from 3, 1 for 2 at the free throw line, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, a plus 20 with 5 points. Now, Jacoby was active. Jacoby was doing good things on defense, but his offense didn't click in the first game in Summer League. Could be jitters, could be whatever, but watch. There's going to be a Summer League game where Jacoby goes off, and everybody's going to be like, ooh, that guy is good. But it wasn't this one. And in some ways, it will come. And I'll bet you there'll be one more shed goes off, too. It's going to be coming up, too. Yeah, it's going to be fun. Isaac Campbell's got the logo on blast, and he's got Grady Dick there. I love to see it. And Daniel Barry's here. Good to see the sports highlights from Daniel Barry coming in and checking in and saying, hey, everyone, happy Sunday. Happy Sunday to you, Daniel. Thanks for joining us this morning at 9:30 a.m. on the Raptor Freak live stream. Interactive community. That's what we got going on here. And, yeah, what a fun game. I'm sure there's all kinds of good highlights for you to go over from last night. Yeah, a lot of fun stuff. In some ways, I wish Javon Freeman Liberty had thrown that big dunk down that he didn't get. Ooh, it looked like a foul to me, honestly. It looked like Kyler Kelly hit him on the arm, and that should have been a foul call, and Javon Freeman Liberty should have been going to the line on that particular play. Trevor saying Carlson was great, 13 points. Really, really great. He looks like a steal at this point. Some of you were talking about Bailey Sheeman for Celtics. Talk about Filipowski. Talk about all these centers that came in. Well, why did Carlson not get drafted? Is what I'm wondering, because this kid is good. And honestly, he's really excited to be a Raptor. They interviewed him after the game, and he's like, yeah, I really like this organization. The people that have come and talked to me have really impressed me. The executives, the coaching, they really care about me. In fact, that was one of the reasons why I picked the Raptors, is because when they came to scout me, their coaches actually taught me things when they came to visit me. And they weren't just kind of coming to Vulture and trying to see, oh, you come and play for the Raptors. No, it's like the Raptors showed up and they gave me actually valuable advice on how to play. And I used it and it worked. And I'm like, oh, this is great. I need to go get coached more by the Toronto Raptors. And that's part of the factor that Carlson factored in for why he chose signing with us as an undrafted. Because that's the thing. These undrafted guys can go to whoever they want. So why the hell would Brandon Carlson pick the Toronto Raptors if the Raptors are such a bad place to be? Nah, he's got a great mentor and another Ute in Yaka Pirtle on the roster already. And it seems like the guys really like him because, look, you get a lot of friends on your team if you're a big man who blocks shots and take care of your blown assignments as a guard. Yeah, you become friends with Jamal Shed real quick when somebody gets by you and, well, oh, Brandon's there to clean it up and block the shit out of the shot. He's fun, man. I like him, and he's down to earth, and he's running the snapback just like Kelly Olynyk. So it's like he's got some parallels to like Olynyk and Pirtle as far as like being a big man who wears a hat backwards, but he's also looks kind of like Pirtle from being on Utah and stuff. It's weird. It's weird. Trevor saying we were a couple rows back from the Raptors players, but the arena was dominated by OKC. Well, that's geographical. Some of these people will drive there. You know, in some ways, the OKC market is partly Nevada. You know, in some ways, I don't know where their broadcast goes to as far as the towers and the radios. You know, there could very well be there is Thunder territory in the state of Nevada. Now, when they get their expansion team in Las Vegas, will that change? Probably will change a bit. But whatever, who cares? We're the bad guys. We're going to enemy lines and we kick ass and we don't give a shit. We get that W, that big W, and our Raptors pros that are on the sideline sitting across, Scotty, Chris, Garrett and his wife, Bruce Brown, Emmanuel Quickly, Davion Mitchell. Yeah, they're all sitting there, and you know, they're seeing what they're seeing, and they're liking it. They're liking it. Scotty looking cool as hell, and his leather and his sunglasses sitting right next to Chris Boucher, his good friend. Yeah, sitting next to him and Garrett Temple. Garrett Temple giving the insight and teaching Scotty while they're sitting there at Summer League. Also, I'll bet being a mentor. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Trevor, more insight, more stories, more sights and scenes from on the scene, from your eyes and ears, sir. Please serve them up. C4C saying, what a game. What a game. Oh, what a game. Raptors playing in the Summer League, beating down the OKC. Oh, what a game. Oh, what a game. Yes. Bryce is saying, good morning, Lex and the Raptor Freaks. Good morning to you, Bryce Lawson. Watching a game from Kentucky yesterday and enjoying it. I think Bryce really enjoyed the game. Going by what I was seeing him saying in the Facebook chat last night, it was fun. It was good. It was a breath of fresh air on a really weird day yesterday. Thank God the Raptors had a badass game and distracted us from a whole sideshow going on in the States right now. Real sideshow right now. Yeah. Let's see. C4C saying we put OKC in 25 to life lockdown. Laugh out loud. Well, 25 points will matter, but 25 is not as good as 27. And Orlando got their game by 27. But hey, listen, they got to have a couple of teams get into the qualifying round of, I think 4 teams get to play for the championship. So as long as we're up in the top 4, we should be in competition to win Summer League. So it matters tonight how much we beat the Denver Nuggets. We need to beat them, first of all, but we also need to run it up on them. And people wondering why teams in the Summer League are running them up, because it matters if you want to win it. It matters if you want to win it. That's right. Bryce is saying, what's your 3 stars of the game, Lex? We'll have 5 if they win. And my 5 stars are Grady, Brandon, DJ, Jameson, and Jamal. Those were my 5 stars of the game for last night. On the other side, I could give a little bit of credit to that guy, Flagler. Flagler is actually a Baylor guy who played with Jacoby. And, he kind of went off 8 for 14, 6 of 7 from 3, 23 points. In some ways, we need to find him better. And he really was a problem. He was the only thing that got them in the game in any kind of way. And it was in that third quarter where they scored 23 and we only had 14. So, yeah, we played really good defense for most of this game. But, yeah, Flagler was the guy for the other side. Keontae Johnson, horrible game. 0 for 4, 0 points. Really did not have a great game at all. Buddy Boeheim coming in late and bricking a couple threes, and that's about it from him. So very, very interesting stuff. We'll do the team stats also. The Raptors shooting 43% last night versus the 34% for the Thunder, and that really was our defense. That wasn't just that they're bad shooters. We were forcing them to take bad shots. They had a shot blocking threat that they had to worry about. And there were also dogs on them in the yard. When they come in across the court, well, there was a dog named Jamal all over them, telling them they ain't coming nowhere easy. And I'm right on you. I am your shadow. That's right. The 3-point shooting could have been better. 10 for 32 for the Raptors. The Thunder did make one more 3 than us and shot better at 3. The free throw shooting was admirable considering the hostile environment. Sometimes those smaller gyms, you can hear people better and their screaming and stuff can be harder than the actual big, huge arena. So in some ways, commendable performance by Grady Dick, 6 for 6, and Carlson also hitting his free throws and other people hitting their free throws like Jamison Battle. That is important because in some ways, you guys might be playing in G League, some of y'all, and that is the environment you may have to play in. Now, a lot of people may not care as much as they did in this game. For some reason, those OKC fans were really, really caring about trying to cheer for the team. But look at those losers get routed. I mean, it was 30-10 at the end of the first quarter. We had tripled up, y'all. You bastards. Yeah. So the free throws obviously could get cleaned up. I don't like seeing so many missed free throws, only shooting 63%. But the other side shot 54%. So whatever. Y'all maybe needed people yelling at y'all, Thunder. You might have shot better. We out-rebounded the hell out of them, 54-36. They couldn't do nothing. Chomche was going up over people and just grabbing them. Some one-handed grabs and rebounds, just going up over. And then Grady. Holy crap. Grady with some of the weak side offensive rebounding he was doing, just getting in there. And the dog in his fight was bigger than the fight in the OKC team. And Grady was just getting rebounds he had no business getting. But he got in there. He wanted more. He got it. And that's what I'm saying. 16 offensive rebounds. I'm sure that's what the Thunder coach was talking to them about. How did y'all let them get 16 offensive rebounds? 54 rebounds. That's badass. And I love out-rebounding the other team by 18. That is awesome. The assists, the magic number, 25 assists. In fact, Candace Parker was gushing in the beginning of the game about how the Raptors were making all their baskets off of assists. Oh my gosh, 13 out of 15 field goals are assisted. That's so awesome. That's right. That's the Darko system, Candace. That's the Darko system. That's what happens when you have a Rojakovic with a Serbian background coaching your team and he wants to play a Euroball game. That's right. 25 assists by the Raptors. That's the magic number. Well, I want to see the Raptors get 25 plus assists every single game. So do it. You did a good job, Summer League, doing that. The steals and blocks should have been higher, honestly. It's crazy that they actually had one more block than us. That doesn't even seem right. I still feel like the NBA is taking away blocks from Raptors players. That's not a block. That's a deflection. I can't put that down as a block. That's why Nick Nurse stopped giving a shit about whether it's a steal or a block. He just started counting deflections because they were stealing blocks and steals from us by just saying, oh, it's just a ball tip out with the finger. Okay, whatever. You're so healthy and nice to other people with giving them blocks and steals on other teams, but you'll take them away from us. In fact, I think they did something screwy with the score at the beginning. I swear they shaved 2 points off of us at the very beginning and didn't count one of our baskets at the very beginning. The scorekeeper was asleep at the very beginning of the game, and for a while it was 0-0, even though there were points on the board left and right for both teams. They didn't want to make it look so bad for Thunder. At one point, it should have been 15-1, but it was actually 13-1. Yeah, there's some screwy shit going on last night. And Greenberg's messing up with calling teams, players, and stuff like that. That, man, he says that's not on purpose, but he's doing some weird psyop shit. Jared Greenberg for fucking ESPN, piece of shit. Yeah. Let's see. G saying Carlson is frozen, is cold. Carlson is cold. Nah, he was hot. He was hitting a shot. I wouldn't say he's cold. I'd say he's very good. Yeah, and then turnovers, 13 turnovers. They had 16. We forced a lot of turnovers on them, which was awesome. Very, very good. Very, very good. Tom Duke saying Battle played well in his minutes too. Yeah, Battle was good. He has a very nice shot, and he came dialed in. And that when you put in that work, it doesn't matter where you're at. You'll make them if you do it the right way. And that's the thing. You know, I have a theory about Grady and him missing his shots. After the game last night, he talked about how he's gone up. I talked about yesterday how he went from 190 to 200. Well, he says he's 214 right now, that he is actually up to 214, that he ended the season at like 200, but he's gained a whole 14 pounds or something like that now. Now, we know with shooters, sometimes that extra bulk on your frame can mess your shot up, and you got to readjust a little bit to being a bigger, more muscly kind of guy. So that may be part of what's going on with Grady a little bit with his shot being off last night, is that he's gained bulk. And in some ways, that bulk to throw around and be more physical on the court is very valuable, and the shooting will come back. The fundamentals are still there. It's just he's got to adjust to his body changing over time. And this will be probably something that he has to go through from time to time, especially early in his young career, that his size coming up and new muscles, well, he shoots different because he has a bigger body all of a sudden. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see how it goes. James is saying Grady was the best player out there. He showed leadership. He showed commitment. He showed hustle. He showed drive. He showed the willingness to do whatever it takes to win, including taking a charge in Summer League. Yeah, he's doing that. He's doing the Lowry in Summer League. So I'm really, really proud of Grady and the all-round game he played last night. In some ways, I wanted an efficient game and make all his shots. Well, that's not what I got. But I got something that was just as good. Just as good. Isaac's got Grady on blast. Look at it. He's got star eyes for him. He's got the bullseye. There you go. I love it, Isaac. Mason's here. Good to see Mason Culligan. Returning to the Raptor Freak chat. Always good to see Mason. What's up, Lex? What I tell the haters, leave Grady alone and let him get better. Grady is a very good position on the floor, knows where to be at all times, and the will to learn and get better, not just the threes. Yeah, that's the thing right there, is like he showed more diversity in his offensive portfolio, and I'm proud of him for that. In some ways, yeah, you don't want to get pigeonholed as just a three-point shooter, Grady. You got to show them that you're a hustler, and you'll get after the ball, and you'll get after trying to lay it up and beat people to the rim. And that was a lot of that last night. And some of the baseline drive with the reverse underneath. Oh, it's like becoming a signature move for Grady to do that little reverse up and under using the rim for protection. Yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it. James is saying, Lex, which rookie do you see contributing for us this season? I think they're all going to contribute in their own ways at different levels. I mean, Carlson, you know, even though he looked the strongest out of all the rookies last night, he may be one of the ones that contributes the least in some ways. I'm not lying. Seriously. Sure, the three-pointers are probably going to be helpful to shot blocks. But I'm telling you, if Jacoby gets the minutes on the big squad, he's going to contribute like crazy. Shed also. Jonathan and Ulrich, in some ways, they're more conducive to play too. I think they're all going to be contributing to us. In some ways, this is the new generation. We're starting at the bottom floor, and they are the future. And we've got to progress and develop them. So they're going to be playing, all of them. But they're going to be playing at 905 or playing for the main squad. And I'm going to say right now, Ulrich Kamshe can play in the NBA and be helpful right away. From what I saw last night, he's going to be able to do some of the muscling around the basket to get rebounds for us. It's going to be extremely valuable, extremely valuable. He's just going to have to learn how to stay out of foul trouble. And he's just going to have to learn to be more polished as a basketball player just in general. So, man, he is so amazing. And, yeah, Shed is a dog. Shed is a winner. Shed is coming to play team basketball and be a leading kind of point guard to win. Jacoby's an enigma. Jacoby's going to be taking a little bit more time, but he didn't do anything egregiously bad last night. He just didn't step up and show himself yet either. So I think they're all going to contribute this year. James, it's going to be very entertaining too to see. Tom Duke saying, Brendan got me fired up watching a big nail threes. There you go. Tommy's liking it. The Moticon Giant likes the three-point giant. Yes, giant recognizing giant. Very good. Bryce is saying we destroyed them on the boards. Yeah, Yeah, it was nasty. I know Bryce in particular in our Facebook chat last night, we were going on about Comshay and just the wingspan and his nose for getting through the ball off the boards. He's like an old school kind of rebounder in some ways. He really uses his shoulders and his length and his strength to beat people. In some ways, oh man, I don't want to say it, but I said this to Pirtle a long time ago in person. I saw Pirtle on the street. I said, Jakob, you need to tell, and this is before the first time he was on the Raptors, before he went to San Antonio. I said, you need to tell Siakam to study Rodman. And this is before Siakam became the offensive amazing thing that he is. I thought that Siakam would be a role player. He'd be a really good defender and a rebounder. This is so long ago. And I said to Pirtle, I said, tell him to go watch Rodman, please. And Pirtle said, man, that's some old school shit, man. You want him to watch Rodman? I'm like, yeah. Yeah, I think that Pearl went and watched Rodman himself after I said that to him. And I don't think Siakam did go watch Rodman. I think he went and watched Jordan instead. I think that's what happened. But I'm going to say this to Comshay right now. I want you to go watch Rodman. Yeah. Ulrich, go watch Rodman. Go watch what he used to do. Because in some ways, you have the same physical gifts that he has. Maybe you don't have the same standing jump vert that Rodman had. But you have a wingspan that's better than his. Yeah. So maybe that's made up for that. But I would say go watch Rodman and crash course on what he's doing. Because if you can do what Rodman used to do, oh, man, you could be a Hall of Famer. I'm going to say that right now. Just like him. Just like him. That's right. Yeah, yeah. James is saying Carlson's shot is butter. Butter. It's like butter. It's like butter, Mike Myers. Butter. Butter. I love it. Mason saying Carlson and Jacoby will get minutes at some point. Yes, I've been saying this for a few years. We needed more big men and shooters, and that's what Masai did. Yeah, we've been short-staffing our big men for so long. It's a breath of fresh air to be the big team, to have a shot blocker, to win the rebounding battle. Yeah, it's so awesome. Vision 6'9" didn't really have a center in it. And in some ways, we've been crying out and pleading for centers, and boom, goes the dynamite. Now we got them. It's so refreshing. We feel reinvigorated. We feel more powerful as a team. And that Carlson really, really looked good last night. Really, really looked good. Yeah, the shooters we're adding, hopefully they wake up and they start making more than they miss. And boom, we'll be in good shape. I like it so far. We'll have to see. Hopefully we get a better shooting performance from Jacoby and Jamal and different people in the game tonight against the Nuggets. 9:30 tonight. That's right. Yeah, Mason saying also we need rim protectors, rebounders, and shooters, and that's what we got. And sorry, boys, work all week here for today. As always, love the stream, a place to be heard and to appreciate Raptors basketball. There you go, Mason Culligan. I'm going to give you a three-pointer, my guy, for coming in when you can. I know people are busy during the week, but hey, we're here on the weekend, and if you can come and talk to me on the weekend, that's fantastic. Where is Mason? Mason's getting added to the list. I can't believe Mason's not on here yet. He should have been. Well, we got him now. We're going to give him a three-pointer. Mason Culligan added to the dunk list. Boom goes the dynamite. There you go, Mason. I love it. Smooth's here. Good to see Smooth. Hey, good morning. I didn't watch the game. Encouraged by Grady, though. I was watching Canada, Uruguay, and the Trump stuff. Yeah, I don't even want to talk about that. I will say one thing. Until the whole details of what actually went down yesterday come out, I'm going to hold opinion. I will say this, that Trump is best friends with Vince McMahon. And all I know is that Vince McMahon knows how to do shit like that. Let's just put it that way. Anyway, either way, I don't want to get into that whole stupid ass circus right now, honestly, because I have strong opinions on what's going on. And in some ways, I'm very, very disappointed in a few ways yesterday. Let's just put it that way. I'm disappointed in people shooting at people, obviously. But in some ways, I don't even know if it was a real gun. It seemed like a pellet gun. It seemed like somebody was shooting BBs at him. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck happened yesterday. All I know is I don't trust the people that are involved in it, that this would be an honest event. Let's just put it that way. I don't trust this whole thing. You want to say, oh, people died, though. Yeah, but y'all are crazy. Y'all will kill people just to make a spectacle and make something seem like it's real. That's how crazy y'all are. I mean, the villains can make a whole show. And it doesn't have to be real, guys. Seriously, it didn't look real to me. I mean, the photo op was too perfect in some ways. It's like it was very staged. Let's just put it that way. And either way, whatever. This is the Raptors channel. In some ways, the politics are going to get really intense by the end of the year, and I don't even want to bring it up. In some ways, I might ban that word from this channel because honestly, everything's going to be all over the place now because of this stupid shit yesterday. And I don't, in some ways, I've banned other words from here. I might ban the T word, smooth. So let's not put it in here anymore. Just because, in some ways, I could talk for hours on this subject, but this stream is not going to be good for it. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, I heard that Canada lost in their fourth place game and got fourth place to Uruguay. But you know what? They're on the rise in that world in soccer. But once again, I don't talk about that either. So we're talking about the game. It's too bad you didn't watch it because it was fantastic. G saying Shed impressed me as well. He's a dog. Yeah. It's underlying things. It's things that you kind of you don't totally pick up on from the box score. It's leadership stuff. It's encouragement. It's direction. It's leadership as in defensive intensity. It's leadership as in like holding guys accountable. I can tell he's that kind of point guard, and I really, really like it. His family's there in full effect, supporting him. I love seeing the his dad wearing the Raptors hat. It's really, really good. Really, really cool. Let's see. Mason said, I like that we are at least trying to get the right people we needed. Last season, I admit, I was scared before the draft night that we flopped. But once again, Masai did his thing, and I appreciate that. Go Raptors. I wasn't impressed with getting Grady last year. I was a little worried, but I'm so happy that we got him at this point. But yeah, at that time, I wasn't in agreement with them picking Grady Dick at 13. But it's all worked out since then. And I've learned, once again, that I need to just trust Masai as president of the Toronto Raptors. Yeah, in some ways, this draft was really kind of invigorating. Just like Masai said, the second night of the draft made him start to feel better about the Raptors for the first time in a long time. And I'll bet you it has a lot to do with Comshay, Shed, and Mobo, and Carlson. Yeah, has a lot to do with that there. Nameless is saying, I thought the coach managed the game incredibly well, too. Yeah, this is actually an area where we outplayed them, too, is the coaching. I don't know who their coach was on the other side. I heard he's been with the Oklahoma City Thunder for 4 years, but he was out of his league going up against Jama. Jama is really on top of things, and he had a really good thing. In fact, in the interview after the game, Jama was saying, I was really happy and gleeful about how we just destroyed them defensively. I love it. You're a sick man, Jama Mamhalea. Yeah, you're a sick man to get the glee out of destroying the other team in defense. I love it. I love it so much. So, yeah, he's saying that a lot of the stuff that I put for them to do out there, they did it exactly right, and I love it. That's the thing. We need these youngsters to listen and be teachable. And, well, it seems like this crew is very teachable and moldable. And Jama got a really good effort and outcome out of them yesterday. But I think you're exactly right, Nameless. In fact, I'm going to give you a dunk for pointing out something that a lot of people, casuals, may not say today, and that our coach outcoached the other coach badly last night. 40 dunks for our guy Nameless. Yeah, he did. He really did outcoach him. And Jama was fantastic. You've seen the coaches on the bench. Of course, Coco and Vin Banyani, Eric Curry sitting there too, Drew Jones, Pat Delaney. The whole crew there sitting there. And also, listen to this, guys. Koloko was at the game last night. Christian Koloko sitting at the game with Raptors officials taking in the game. Maybe he's there to support countryman Comshay. Maybe he's there to see his old teammates like Scotty and Chris. But Koloko was in the house, and he was sitting with Dr. Alex and them. So this is a good sign. Maybe it is going to be a thing where we can circle back and young Christian will still be on the Raptors somehow, some way. I like this. Rich Paul, don't do us dirty and cheat us of our second-round pick from a couple years ago. He got hurt. He should still be legally on the Raptors. And even though he's technically a free agent right now, we should have first dibs off the waiver wire on reclaiming Christian Koloko of Arizona. That's just what's right. That's if this world is right and just, which I'm not totally sure it is anymore. That would be the right thing that should happen. Yeah, that should be right there. Mike is here. Good to see Logical Raptors fanatic. Project Truth always. That's my guy. That is my guy. Yeah. Mason saying Grady always surprises me how he knows where to be at all times. His positioning on the floor is very good. And you can tell he comes from a basketball family. And that's the reason I stuck up for him. Yeah. I mean, listen, I like that y'all are Grady fans. In some ways, I was wrong in my scout of him where I thought his skills would not go to the next level, but they have. And in some ways, a goofy blonde white kid that looks a step too slow is not a step too slow in the NBA, like Lex thought. Because I was like, man, that works in Kansas, but I don't know if that'll work in the NBA. Well, actually, Lex, it's weird because he has off timing. In some ways, it's that Larry Bird shit. Larry Bird wasn't the fastest guy in the world, but he had that off time. He just knew when to go. You got to find when that green light is to go and put that foot forward and beat them. If you're smart, you can figure it out and beat them in certain ways. And I'm glad you stuck up for Grady. And well, I wasn't sold on him in the original, but I am now. And that's the important thing. Mike's saying we have a legit summer league team this year. There's a chance we end up waiving Sasha and then guarantee JFL. He played all right, but maybe the Raps were looking at different things. Yeah, I love Masai handling that question. Greenberg, the idiot, asking him about Sasha Vinchenkov. And Masai's still saying the same thing. We're still working it out. We're trying to figure it out. It sounds like from what Masai said on the broadcast last night, it's leaning towards some sort of agreed buyout. I think that Vinchenkov is greedy and he wants to get most of his money still from his NBA contract, even though he doesn't want to play. How the fuck does that work? Seriously. Either you go to Greece and take their money and fucking leave and you come off our books, or you fucking come play for us and we pay you. That's the way I look at it, Sasha Vinchenkov. If you really want to go back to Greece, say goodbye to the second year of your contract and say goodbye to the NBA dream you had over a year ago. That's what I would say to this. In some ways, that's what Masai's probably fighting with them about. It's like, look, we're not going to let you out of your contract. We're not going to buy you out to that amount. We'll buy you out to this amount or maybe nothing. And then you can go. They got to work it out. In some ways, this doesn't matter. People in comment sections, people bringing up Sasha all over the place, it's a distraction. Who gives a shit? He won't matter to anything. He's not a needle pusher. He is not going to be somebody who's going to, make the Raptors in the playoffs all of a sudden. He's just an old guy from Bulgaria who fucking tried to make the NBA at almost 30. And last year, he didn't like how the Kings used him because he's used to being an MVP, a number one player on a team. Well, you're a fucking role player, journeyman who doesn't mean jack shit to the Sacramento Kings. Sorry, Sasha Vinchenkov. Oh, no, my ego's bruised. Now you're traded to the Raptors. Oh, well, whatever the fuck you're going to do, go do it. We don't care because it's not going to matter to the Raptors' future either way. If you come and show up and you're a good citizen, you can help contribute. Okay, that's great. But we're not depending on you. How about that? We're not dependent on him. And in some ways, when we bring up Sasha, I'm going to be more venomous as this continues to drag out. In some ways, it's like, look, the Greek fans want him so bad. Raptors fans don't give a shit. We don't care if we have him or not. We really, really don't. Greek fans want him so bad. Oh, we want him in Greece league again. Oh, we love him so much. Okay, then fucking you pay him the money he's owed by the Raptors right now because we are supposed to pay him because he's under contract with us. So why don't y'all take the tab, Greek fans, that have such a hard on to get Sasha back in your league over there? Seriously, why don't y'all pool your money together? You're so crazy with your crazy posts and propaganda about him being waived and leaving the Raptors already. Why don't y'all just get your fucking money and GoFundMe and shit and pay his fucking contract yourself, and then he can come back to Greece and play for y'all. It's so crazy. Greek league is crazy. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, I don't give a shit about Sasha, Mike. I don't give a shit about him at all. Tristan's here. Good to see a great Raptor freak, Tristan Trey, in the house. He is so hyped and excited about things right now. I can tell Tristan is hyped right now. Yes, Ulrich looked like he was figuring out the scheme, but wow, he has really good defensive instincts. Overall, the defense seems to be a drastic improvement. Yeah, that was a really good defensive team. In some ways, I want to see how much these youngsters can come up and help our guys on the main level to get that defensive intensity up. I have a feeling Ulrich might be able to do this in certain ways. Now, he may have a learning curve. He may have problems staying in games initially because he's in foul trouble. But I'm telling you, in the long run, when he figures it out and he learns more and more over time, it's going to take time. He's going to be special, guys. We can see it. I know you guys can see it. I know Cowboy sees it. I know that Tristan sees it, that this dude is going to be special right there. Yeah, Cool Cat is here. Good morning to the coach. Cool Cat in the house. What is Cool Cat saying this morning? Good morning, Raptor Free crew. Love the defensive aggression, most of all. Love Grady bulked up. We have a centers in abundance. Finally, we have a bench since our title run. That's right. That's right, Cool Cat. I love it too. I love it too. Yes, Coach Cool Cat has been in my group of we want more centers, Bobby and Masai. And boom, they must have listened. We were at the drive-through window and we said, hello, Bobby and Masai, front office of the Raptors. We'd like to order some more centers for our team. Okay, here's your total. Please drive around. Yeah, they did that. They did that. They did do that. They're like, oh, the Raptor freaks want more centers. Maybe we should listen to them, Bobby, this time. Maybe we should listen to them. Yeah, I think you're right, Masai. Maybe we should listen to them this time. Oh, they got centers. Now we got a shot blocker who's shooting threes also. Big time, awesome stuff. I love it, Cool Cat. I love it so much. Yeah, Mason's saying it's a good time to be a Raptor. It's been a while since I said that. It's always been a good time to be a Raptor. It's just that we have to appreciate the good times and also understand the bad. And in some ways, look, the thing is about it's the spirit of this channel. Look, we're never say die. We could be a very horrible team and we will still be the same fans that we are on this channel. That's what being a Raptor freak is. So yeah, when it is glorious, when we are on top, when we are a champion, when we are at the top of the Atlantic Division, when we are an Eastern Conference power, yeah, it feels real nice. And we haven't had that as much in recent years. But yeah, hopefully we can get back to it. I'm telling Scotty psychokinetically to him, you are going to be a champion for the Raptors in the future, Scotty Barnes. So go get it. Go get it. And those times will come, Mason. Those times will come. Mike saying Oshai was looking better. The development is seeable. The year two guys are better than they were last year. Well, Grady definitely. Oshai a little bit more subtly, but I see what you mean, Mike. I will say this about Abaji last night. He was more aggressive with his offense. He may not have made so much, but he was attacking the rim, and he did take a three and hit it. So there were certain things with Abaji that were good signs. Now, I still feel like he's a little bit too all over the place, and he needs to rein it in certain specific ways. But he looked good. He looked very strong. Both him and Grady looked stronger than they did last year, and Abaji looked very strong last year. So this is good, and the development is seeable. I agree with you. I agree with you on that. Kenne's here. Good to see original Raptor free Kenne in the house. Oshai looking like a vet with the rookies. Yeah, Grady and Oshai looking like vets, being great leaders and leading this team to victory. No egos on this team. In fact, that's part of the reason why JFL stands out to me, is because he's like the old 905 last year, a bunch of guys just trying to score for themselves. Now, we ain't having that on 905 this year with Drew Jones, JFL. If you are hanging around the Raptors franchise this year, you better cut out your bullshit. Seriously. Sure, that hooping mentality and you going all out on your own all the time may have worked on 905 last year, but it ain't going to be working in the year coming up. We're going to get back to how we're supposed to do it, and that's sharing the ball and playing as a team. And that's why, in some ways, I do not want Freeman Liberty on our team, is because I really don't think that he plays the team game correctly. And that's the problem right there. Kenny saying Ulrich defense is NBA level, quick feet. Yeah, very, very good stats at the combine. Some of the stuff that he had was off the charts, and one of the top players at the combine on the down low, if not the youngest, though. That's the thing. He's a gamble. And in some ways, look, Masai's seen him more than anybody coming from Basketball Africa League. Yeah. So in some ways, Masai knows this isn't a gamble because he understands what's going on with Chomche and that he's coming up and he's going to be very, very good. So investment for the future at the end of the draft, getting Ulrich on the Raptors in our program. And yeah, just keep it in-house. And boy, if Koloko comes back healthy all of a sudden, look out. The Raptors have centers galore all of a sudden. Very, very good shot blocking centers. That's right. Tristan saying, I'm grateful for our organization president. Yeah, I'm very grateful for Masai too. And just how badass he is. I love that he told ESPN, no, I'm not leaving. Jared Greenberg tried to make, all right, this is an optics thing. In some ways, they're trying to make us look really bad in all kinds of different ways. Masai came in, he looked really good. He explained that teams go through cycles as they do. And this is just the damn truth. We went to the pinnacle. We got the championship. And, well, we've had to go through a change afterwards. It's been difficult. Cycles of franchises in sports are natural, and different speeds and rates of how they go through the cycles are different. Some teams are saying, yeah, well, we never had to go through this in San Antonio. Well, in some ways, y'all were set up to keep things sustainable because you had very unselfish, important, pivotal players on your team that were working with the salary cap and the front office to make sure that you guys had new blood coming in all the time. The run of the Spurs during their crazy, long-ass dynasty is really sustained by the leaders and the unselfishness of Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, and Tony Parker. And it's like that's the exception. It's so tough. In some ways, now the Warriors are dismantling this dynasty. Now other teams are changing and they morph. The Celtics were horrible a few years ago, and they had to work hard to get to this point to be champions this year. So it's cycles. And Masai just point out the obvious to everybody. We're in a cycle, but do not doubt that the Raptors will not come back up. Yeah, they will. We're going to come back up. And Candace Parker said it herself. It's like having this guy in charge is a good one. He's a good one. Toronto, you're very lucky to have a good one like Masai Ujiri running things. And that's exactly the damn right truth. That's right, Tristan Trey. And I'm going to say I'm grateful for him too. And I'm going to give you a dunk for saying that not only do we trust in Masai, we also really, really believe in him. You've got the number 6, Corey Joseph number for you now, Tristan. Yeah, Trevor's saying life is full of problems, but problems is not permanent. So your life is limited. Life is limited. So face problems with confidence and enjoy every moment of your life. Yeah, I mean, I hope that the major problems in the U.S. that are going to be coming up hopefully don't happen. I hope that even though there was some sort of crazy thing that happened yesterday, people still vote smartly against tyranny and dictatorship and understand there's a theater of the absurd that's going on right now. And that there really isn't a choice. Either you value your freedom and your ability, your rights as a woman for abortion and other things. If you value certain things, you're going to stop Project 2025. You're going to stop it, even if there was some sort of crazy ass sideshow yesterday. That's what I'm going to say right there. Mike saying Grady with those crazy saves and into assists. Laugh out loud. He's got it. Yeah, Grady was awesome. He was a little wild, but controlled at the same time and all over the place. Really, really crazy. Smooth saying Shannon Doherty is dead. Yeah, we've lost a few celebrities this week. Richard Simmons of Tallahassee. He's from my hometown down in Florida. That passed away this weekend also. Shannon Doherty passing away. I've heard Dr. Ruth passed away also. Yeah, we've been losing celebrities a lot recently. It is kind of sad and tragic. But Smooth, you're all off topic today. Alan just said, did I just read that Trent might be signing with the Sixers? Alan, don't do this fake news shit. Either we get the news officially that Gary Trent Jr. or Precious Achiuwa has signed with someone. Otherwise, we don't do that. All right, Marquise Noel is on Twitter saying, without good direction, people lose their way. The more wise counsel you follow, the better your chances. There you go. All right, Marquise. That's good stuff. I don't see anything. Don't do this. Alan, you've done this 2 days in a row. Don't bring me Trent news anymore. If you put the word Trent in your comment, I'm just going to pass your comment. I have not heard anything official. I've heard a couple different teams. It seems like the Sixers are getting full up, and they've kind of spent all their money at this point. So it may be a reach. And it's not like Nick Nurse valued Gary Trent Jr., so I don't think your rumor's very factual. Mike is saying Comshay needs the G League and will get called up if there's an injury. Maybe he needs to develop more touch and IQ. I want them to fully use the 2 ways on the amount that they can play up high. It doesn't make any sense not to. If we're going to be at a complete rebuild from the bottom with the youth, well, these youngsters need to play their maximum games for the main roster. So Ulrich may start down there. Maybe we do something interesting like we did last year, where we don't use the young guys much in the first half of the season, but near the end of the season, the 2 ways are getting their maximum amount of NBA games played filled out by the end of the season. That's what I'm kind of hoping. Now, that may signify that we're not in a good position. We're not competing if we're playing them more then, but so be it. In some ways, you want to keep them for insurance just in case of injury like last year. Or you want to just keep that. You want to make sure they get their full games is basically what I'm saying. If they're eligible to play a certain amount of NBA regulation games, they need to play them. Brandon Carlson, Ulrich Shamshay, and whoever is going to be the other 2-way, whether it's DJ Carton as it is right now. Yeah. So we'll have to see. I think you're right. Comshay needs the G League for sure. And he will be very, very fruitful for him down there. And hopefully Coach Drew Jones, who's a big man coach, can specifically help guys like Brandon and Ulrich and Jonathan get better down there. Yeah. Alan saying Shannon Doherty, formerly of Beverly Hills, 90210, dead at 53 of cancer. And Luke Perry died years ago. Yeah. Yep. That's it. Yep. Mason saying we have our Dylan Brooks in Shed. I didn't get that vibe completely. A villain? I don't know if Shed's a villain like Dylan, who's going to aggravate people. I don't know if he's exactly the same species as Dylan Brooks. I think that Jamal Shed has dog in him. He's a leader. Maybe he's less toxic than Dylan Brooks. I'm not saying that I don't like Dylan Brooks. I don't think that he's a bad person. It's just that he can be a sideshow. He can be a distraction. He can add a whole lot extra that some people just don't want around the team. I don't think Shed's like that. So I don't know if that is the right comparison. Let's just put it that way. Bam, son. David Saborin checking in our commissioner trivia. And on that note, that means I can do the classic card of the day. So let's see what David's saying. He's dapping me in, and I got the card box to see who we get today on this Sunday. A Sunday preview and reaction to Summer League action. I'm very, very happy about it. We've had this card before. I don't want to do this card right now. We'll pick a different one. That one I'll do sometime later when we've forgotten. Oh, this is fun. All right, this is really fun. This is actually somebody who's been at Summer League. I've seen pictures of this person with the ex-president Barack Obama. Yeah, very, very cool. This is a Raptors-related card once again, guys. Be very fast because this one is going to be gotten very quickly. So be very fast. And honestly, we should make spelling count, David, and get this exactly right because this person's important to our franchise. And I want to make sure you guys get it. So here it is. Now, look, it's not a player. It's a coach. It's a coach's card. So there you go. Mike's saying Serge Ibaka. That's a horrible guess. I didn't even show it for that long. Did I show it enough for somebody to get this card? This guy's a Hall of Famer as a player and a coach. And he was with Barack Obama this weekend at Las Vegas. He is still alive. There it is again. I don't want to show him too long. There you go. Isaac got it. And he spelt it right. This is the Hall of Fame coach, Lenny Wilkens, when he coached for the Cavs. And look how far his coaching career was already at that point. He hadn't even came to the Raptors yet. Look how much he had been coaching. He'd been coaching since 1970 in Seattle. 50 points for Isaac, getting the coach, Lenny Wilkens, great Raptors coach. Some people don't like Lenny in Raptors world. I tell y'all to shut up because honestly, Lenny Wilkens is an important coach. In some ways, he was very much a bona fide coach that came in and gave us stability. Even if he was a player's coach and let some of the veteran players on our team run things a bit, he was important and he was good and he was understated. In some ways, people just don't understand who Lenny Wilkens was. He was a very good coach for the Raptors. In some ways, people that diss Lenny Wilkens as our coach, I tell y'all, shut up. That guy's a Hall of Famer, and we're proud of him. Lenny was awesome. Yeah, I have no problem with Lenny Wilkens. I'm very, very proud of him. All right, let's see. We'll go back to where David was. Thank you for the classic card of the day, Trevor J. And thank you for the judgment, David. And good job by Isaac Campbell getting the classic card of the day, Lenny Wilkens. That's right. Wayne's here. Good to see Wayne Strainer. I wanted to hear what Wayne had to say about the game last night. He was telling me yesterday he's going to come back in here and give me his opinion. So let's see what he's saying. The new generation look good. It's the first time for everyone. And my takeaway is we're good. In that cohort, we'll have 3 to 4 quality bench replacements. I agree with Wayne here. In some ways, we just saw our bench mob yesterday for the first time, our new bench mob. And they're going to be coming up. Mobo and Ulrich and Shed. Yeah, they're going to be coming up. And I'm excited about it. I'm glad Wayne approves of the first initial game of watching these guys play. This was something he was going to come in and say. He was going to judge it and come back and tell us what he saw. And he said, we're good. We're good. I love it. I love it. I love it. G saying cold, meaning basically really, really good, talented, awesome, grand, unreal, totally kick-ass, etc. in urban terms, Lex. Yeah, in some ways in basketball, when I see that freezing, I'm like, that's why I kind of had a problem with Dennis's celebration, the freeze, is because in some ways in basketball, cold temperature, this is something that they need to think about when they name the WNBA franchise for Toronto, is don't go in a cold motif just because we're in Canada. Nah, there's all kinds of bad jokes people can make when you're like the ice pirates or something like that. Oh, they're frozen. They're going cold. That's the thing. In some ways, we are the generations of NBA Jam. He's heating up. He's on fire. So the elements are opposite. And my distinction of cold is never good for basketball because when you're cold, you're missing. So in some ways, I always take it as a negative connotation. No disrespect. Season 1 trivia champion, G. That's just where I go to. But I understand you can be a cold-hearted killer, an assassin on the court that absolutely destroys other people. And that's what you intended to mean. I get it. I get what you're saying. Alan's saying next exhibition game for Raptors is July 17th against France. No, Canada. It's Canada. You're talking about Canada. Wemby and Gobert. Yeah, this Friday we will play France in an exhibition. Team Canada. We're already over there. We are on France ground and practicing right now over there. Team Canada is over there. That's why RJ wasn't at the Summer League game with the rest of the Raptors watching the game with them, is because him and Kelly are over in France getting ready for this game against France on Friday. So they got this whole week to continue to have training camp and train, and they'll play Wemby and Gobert on Friday. I hope they kick their ass. Seriously, this will be a good game for us to beat the other team for sure. Cool Cat saying, Lex, we finally have our centers in abundance. Better late than never. There you go, Cool Cat. I love it. And because you were such a strong proponent for this, and it finally happened, I'm going to give Cool Cat a dunk because we went through it to get here. 74 dunks for Cool Cat. Definitely went through it. Yeah, it was tough times. That's right. That's right. Rick Jan's here. Good to see you have come over from the Raptors post-game interview chat box and commenting on me things to come to my stream to say hello this morning, 9:30 a.m. every morning. We talk Raptors in a positive way. And Rick Jan, welcome, my guy. Bug up. Good start to the summer run. Yeah. And we'll continue tonight. Denver Nuggets, 9:30 p.m. tonight. And I'm telling you, this team looks worse than the Thunder, Raycon. So it could get even uglier. We need to run up the score so we dominate Summer League and we become the Summer League champions. That's right. That's what I'm all about this time. Yeah, Utah will be tough later this week. Miami will be tough with Kel Ware. But these first two games, they should be cakewalks. And we should kick the living hell out of the Denver Nuggets tonight. They really ain't got nobody but Strother. Seriously. So it's going to be a good one. Good to see you over here with the blue Raptors logo. I love it, Raycon. It looks good, man. Monique is here, the super fan. Monique Lawrence, the MVP, the Trivia Hall of Famer, the community champion, the super fan, Monique Lawrence, the greatest. That's right. Good morning, Raptor Freak family. Stars of the game for her, Grady, Brandon, Jamal, Ulrich, and DJ down the stretch. So she really liked Comshay. Even though he didn't score, she saw the things on defense and rebounding that were impressive. You know, he didn't even really block any shots yet. It was Brandon Carlson that were sending him out. But Shamshay has a shot blocking ability and timing that's there too, but he didn't really put it on display yet last night. That's going to be fun. And man, if Christian can come back and circle around and be on our team, woo, that would be good. That'd be real good. Alan Tam Bamson saying that Richard Simmons died yesterday at 76. The whole health guru, natural causes. Yeah. In some ways, this isn't a celebrity obituary hour, guys. Come on now. Logical saying, shaking my head. This derangement is beyond control. Shaking my head. Yeah, I have no idea. I know what you're talking about, and in some ways it's messed up what's going on. There's some crazy shit going on. It's crazy. All right, let's do the Instagram stories on that note, just real quick. We'll start with Emmanuel quickly. He's saying that his mom is teaching Sunday school this morning, guys, and he's got a Zoom link for you guys to go in there and watch Emmanuel Quickly's mom do Sunday school teaching. So go on his Instagram stories if you want to watch instead of me. Go get some religion from Emmanuel Quickly's mom teaching summer school right now, y'all. I mean, Sunday school. My apologies. Sunday school. All right, let's see. We also got Jordan Wara, who's got some friends of his with him. He's still a free agent. He's just like the other guys. He has not gotten signed to anyone. So I wish Jordan Wara the best of Buffalo. In some ways, I wish he was still in our fold. And I know he would be great still with us, but I don't know if this is going to happen. It's too bad. In some ways, Wara's a good guy. In some ways, I think that he doesn't. It's not a big deal if he's on our team, but maybe we just don't have a spot for him, and that's just how it is. It's sad. Scotty posting him and Chris Boucher sideline. Scotty looking tough with the leather sleeveless and the black sunglasses, looking very tough. Chris Boucher is his bro, and they are buddies. They love each other. They're real tight. And I love it. I want Slim Duck to stay on the Raptors, but who knows what's going to happen. We see Slim Duck posting the picture of him and Garrett and Scotty at the baseline. Scotty looking really cool as a cucumber. In some ways, Scotty couldn't be like all emotional and crazy for his best friend, Jomo, even though Jomo's coming out there and playing his first Summer League game. I'm sure Scotty at some point when Jomo had that put back dunk, he wanted to jump out of his seat and go crazy and run around. He was so happy for his friend, but he had to keep subdued and stay cool as a cucumber with his sunglasses on. Yeah. Scotty was getting up and hyped. There was a basket that Jamison Battle made, and then Scotty dapped him when he ran by him. So Scotty was involved in helping those guys out on the court. The Oklahoma City guys were there too. Chet and Isaiah Hartenstein and Jalen Williams and all those guys, they were sitting on their side of the court too, watching their team get beat the fuck down. That's right. That's right. I love seeing Scotty and Chris's friendship on Instagram. It's amazing. Jamal Shed is posting some highlights from it too. Him in the huddle with Coach Jama and his teammates from last night. And then the highlight that was on Raptors official admin of him making the layup at the buzzer at halftime, that was really impressive. And that timing and him getting it there right at the buzzer was fantastic. That shows a dogged spirit where he is relentless. And Jamal Shed, you have a lot of good skills. Jonathan posting his dunk on his Instagram. Omari Moore posting his great layup over the Oklahoma City Thunder player, the and one that he got. Omari looked pretty good in the game too. He did stumble at one point. Javon Freeman Liberty with his highlight dunk where he went around and threw it down on them. It was nice. He had a layup too. Some nice highlights by Javon. But once again, high usage, not very good quality overall. Grady, all kinds of highlights of him. That catch and layup where he went up over and got the M1, that was counted. That was a beautiful play. Very, very beautiful play. And like I said, I see a natural chemistry with Grady and Brandon Carlson that's actually really, really nice. I like that they're both really hustlers and they go after and get it. Like there was a rebound where Carlson came from like outside the 3-point line and ran down the rebound. And there were guys way closer that were on Oklahoma City. And it didn't matter because Carlson wanted it more. And Grady was doing that kind of stuff too. He wanted it more. Shed wanted it more. Carlson wanted more. Comshay wanted more. That's what we're talking about right there. That's what we're talking about. Pascal showing more clips of him at Vegas, and he actually got on the plane and took off and left. But yeah, it's cool to see him with Christian Siakam. Obviously not on our team anymore, Christian Siakam. Gary Trent Sr. shaving his nose. No, still no word on his son. Let's see who else we got. There's the Raptors admin, Akil's 3 keys to the game. They were pretty good. Jacoby did not get going, though. That was the one thing. In the starting lineup, I was off by one position. They started Carlson instead of Mobo. But that was something that I relented. That could be the one difference that the starting lineup may have. Yeah, so the Brandon Carlson getting the start as a true center. And I was very happy about that, honestly. I wasn't mad because Jonathan didn't start. I just figured that a draft pick might start over a guy who's undrafted. That's part of my logic. Wubbs showing appreciation for a Baylor teammate, and then also showing himself in a Vince Carter throwback T-shirt. Very, very much the Raptors fans are loving that, seeing that. Raptor yesterday was at Jeremy Lin's celebrity game, his 5th annual celebrity game in Toronto. Simu there and the Raptor hanging out at the event. Always a good event, that charity game that Jeremy Lin does. Fantastic stuff. Kelly Olynyk in action on his Instagram stories, practicing for Canada. Kyle Lowry still at that Pro-Am golf tournament with the celebrities and the athletes, and he's signing autographs, and then he takes the shot because they have a basketball hoop on this course, and Steph Curry in the past has come and made the shot, and Kyle makes the shot. He hits it nice and easy. No problem for the GOAT to hit a basketball shot on a golf course. And that's pretty much it. That is the Instagram stories for today on the Raptors and what they're doing. If you want to go watch Emmanuel Quickley's mom do Sunday school, she might be done by now. It started at 9 a.m. Let's see. Tristan saying the only thing I dislike about the right is that they have intolerance for LGBTQ and abortion, and they follow religious dogma. Yeah. Well, there's other things that are really scary. And the other thing that they want to do is they want to deport every single person from outside the country. They're going to come and start knocking on doors, just like the Nazis did to the Jewish people. And they're going to, if Trump wins, they're going to go out next year and they're going to start taking all the people that they think are Mexican illegal immigrants and start putting them in concentration camps, sending them back and doing all kinds of crazy shit. On the down low, US already does this kind of stuff, but it's only going to be intensified and more worse. One of the biggest problems with this is that they separate families. They take kids away from parents. It's absolutely disgusting and vile what the US border does to people that are trying to come into this country illegally. So that is going to be a whole other area that's going to be absolutely disgusting. And it'll be outlawed to be trans too, which will be very crazy. And that's what Tristan's talking about. In some ways, it's a very scary era. And the Americans need to vote correctly this fall, or they will fall into some sort of crazy Handmaid's Tale kind of world that they don't really want. And seriously, it's really crazy. But back to Raptors. Yes, I'll say that. Wayne's saying Raptors talk only. We have sufficient content to opine about. That's true. And Wayne is exactly right. Mischief's here. Good to see Mischief. The base man. He's got Darko. He's got Jama. He's got Grady. He's got Oshai. He's got Jonathan. He's got Jacoby. He's got Jamal. He's got Ulrich. He's got Brandon. He's got me and Mo. I love it. Brady looked like a triple machine. I'm glad we got Ulrich. Yeah, I liked it. I liked it a lot. He looks really, really fun. And he's such a project, but he has so much potential. In some ways, he did look a lot like Giannis when he first showed up. I'm not going to lie. If you go back and watch some of the highlights of Antetokounmpo, when he first showed up, and he was so raw coming from Greece and Africa, this kid is a lot like him in the same kind of things. It's crazy. Alan saying, Rodman the Worm. That's right. That's my guy, Dennis. Tristan saying, CNN falls at the rally, by the way. Yeah, I don't even know. Blackhawk saying, funny thing is that it's not only Masai doing well with the draft. Many of these teams focused on defensive picks, and I'm happy with ours. Yeah, I mean, listen, nobody's going to toot the horn of our front office for doing such a great job at the draft. The focus has been a lot on free agency and the big free agency pickups. And, well, Garrett Temple's not that flashy or great. But the Raptors offseason was that second day of the draft. That was an amazing day. That's one of the most important days in Raptors history recently. And in the future, we're going to talk about the second day of the draft. The first ever time the NBA draft had 2 days, and just how special the second day of the draft, the first time they ever did it, was for the Toronto Raptors. This is something we're going to talk about in the future, guys. Seriously. And that's the thing I love. In some ways, if they were really honest and true about assessing the draft this year, they would say the Raptors are one of the top 3 winners in this whole draft. Seriously. Just the amount of great players they got in different places and how much they help themselves, it's going to reverberate, and they're going to see it in the years to come. And there will be a place where some point ESPN will come back around and say, you know what, the Raptors in 2024 on that second day of the draft, they absolutely killed it. They absolutely killed it. They may not give us credit now, but in the future, when the results come down the line from people like Comshay and Shed, it's going to be undeniable that the Raptors absolutely killed it. Yeah, very happy with our pickups, for sure, for sure. Mason saying, Rodman is a defensive warrior, got a double-double in rebounds and assists with 0 points. You need dogs in order to win chips. Yeah, you need those role players. You need those body sacrificers. You need those guys who are willing to get in the trenches and get no glory, but go in and do the guts of the work. That is an unsung hero. And in some ways, some of the guys we got that I just talked about are those kind of guys. Shamshay and Shed. Yeah. I'm telling you, they're coming. They're coming, Mason. Alan said, I think Rodman and Ben Wallace were the best in their era at defense. Yeah, those are great defensive players. I agree with you on Rodman. I think Ben Wallace was a fantastic defensive player also. Yeah, you can't go wrong with either one of them. Wayne saying, what Chris was there? That's a positive sign. Would be fantastic for him to be in the mix as a future center fit for us. Yeah, Chris Boucher was sitting at the left hand of Scotty Barnes. Best friends, like this. That's what Scotty said. They're like this. It's like Scotty had Chris on this side, and he had Garrett Temple on the other side of him in his ear talking to him. So Scotty very much front and center on the sideline across from the Raptors bench with Chris and Garrett's wife on the other side of him looking all Miss USA. And then a little further down, Davion Mitchell, Emmanuel Quickly, and Bruce Brown wearing a big cowboy hat sitting at the sideline also. And not only that, Christian Coloco at the game last night, sitting with the Raptors front office people. Yeah. So there you go. A lot of good, interesting things, Wayne, about the game last night and who was sitting where and what. That's right. Most saying Brandon Carlson won't be on a 2-way contract for long, FYI. I don't know how you predict that. I mean, you get ahead of yourself, Monique. You get way ahead of yourself. This is one game. This is we have to see him over a body work. I'm not going to just all of a sudden convert him from a 2-way after one game. I'm sorry. In some ways, I'm going to tell you you're wrong because he's probably going to stay a 2-way this whole entire year. Now, he may get converted next summer, but you're jumping the gun, Monique. You may want to predict that he's going to be converted from a 2-way eventually. Yes, I'll agree with you. That's probably likely. But I think that you saying that this is going to happen soon is not right. This is going to be a whole year of him on a 2-way. And then in the offseason, maybe they make him a full contract player for the Raptors. But Comche's on a two-way for 2 years guaranteed. So he's definitely going to be on the two-way for 2 years. He's not going to be switched over to full contract. So in some ways, this is bookkeeping, Mo. It's not about how fast they grow. It's about how we can do things with our contracts and our roster spots. And Brandon Carlson will not be a full-fledged Raptor at least until next offseason. I'm going to tell you that right now. He will go this whole complete season as a two-way. If he gets converted at the end of the season because we're in the playoffs and we need him in the playoffs, okay, that could happen. But that is not likely. That's not likely. Hopefully it's likely we make the playoffs, but it's not totally likely that he will get converted. Let's just put it that way. At least not this year. I think that he'll finish this two-way contract and he'll get offered a real contract next summer. I think that's what's going to happen. I'll predict that. Blackhawks saying the Battle Kid was good too. Hope we look just as good tonight. I think we will. Denver's not as good. I think that this Denver team is actually worse than the Thunder team last night, at least from what I can see. Yeah, Jamison Battle needs to be on 905 this year. He needs to be on 905. If there was somebody who stood out in the beginning of Summer League last year, like Mohamedou Gueye, that we're like, yeah, this guy needs to be somewhere. I think Battle might be that guy who's not totally in the fold, who's kind of on the cusp, who could be either one. I think that we need to invest in Battle and keep him on our 905 team this year. He's a good shooter, and he's showing a real professionalism in the one game last night. We'll see how he looks tonight. Mason saying Grady has the will to learn and be humble and do what coach asks of him. Yeah, that's the thing. These guys are people pleasers in that way, coach pleasers, and that's important. In some ways, it's something that Jama's kind of said in the last couple of days. The thing he really likes about this young crew is they like to serve it to order. That, like, look, we've asked them to do different things, and they're just doing it. It's not like, oh, I don't really want to do that, or oh, that's not really me. Oh, how do you do that? I don't know. No, it's like Jama says, guys, do this, and then boom, they just do it. It may not be totally in their biography ahead of time as far as what their personnel skills are. But Jama's asked them to do something, and they're like very willing, and they're listening, and their aptitude is doing it. It's not like they have to say it twice or fight them on it. These guys say, Jamal, I need you to do this. You got it, coach. Hey, Brandon, can you do this? For sure. I got you. You know, that's the great thing about what's happening with our Raptors. You get the right character with the right mix of talent, and boom, they're easy to coach. They're easier to develop. They're sponges to learn, and they're learning faster than the average NBA player. Because they are there, they have the aptitude, and they're listening. They're listening. That is important. That's very, very important. Tom saying, bummer. I do care about getting Sasha. Really hope he plays with us. You see, I don't care, Tom. Who gives a fuck? Sasha Venchenkoff can go fuck off for all I care. This has already been muddled and fucked up. In some ways, this isn't a Goran Dragic. Once again, this is a guy who had nothing to do with us and doesn't seem to want to have anything to do with us. So fuck him. He can go on the list with Alonzo Mourning. If he wanted to be there, well, he should have been sitting next to cowboy hat wearing Bruce Brown last night. If it's such a big deal that he wants to be a Raptor. So, Tom, I say this. Don't be all like, oh, I wish Sasha was on our team. Tell him to say fuck off if he's not coming correct. That's what I say right there. David saying, me too. You want him? You want him too? I don't care. I don't care. In some ways, the FIBA game doesn't translate here. In some ways, I agree with them. The FIBA game's better than the game in the NBA. But in some ways, if he looks down on the NBA and he feels like, oh, he's above it, or if he feels like, oh, they're not using me correctly and he has airs and he has an ego, we don't fucking want him around our team. Think about it that way. If he's coming in all highfalutin, I'm a Greek League MVP, leading scorer. Yeah, we don't give a shit about that over here. We really don't. If you're going to try and throw your weight around and try and get respect for that, when we don't give a shit about that, when you're not respecting our team, why should I give a fuck about him? You guys give a fuck about him? Okay. It's your right. It's your right. Tom saying, I'm with Masai and understand it is his decision. And yes, of course, we will move on with or without him. Well, why wouldn't we want him? I think that this is this. All right. I'm going to tell y'all right now. The Jalen McDaniels trade was something that was mysterious to us. We're all like, wow, we just got 2 draft picks and 2 players for Jalen McDaniels. What is this, Christmas? This is too good to be true. Well, this is the part that's too good to be true. That the Kings knew all along that Venchenkoff was not about coming back to the NBA. In fact, he's been saying this shit since May. He's been a headache. So in some ways, the Raptors are like, well, we've got McDaniels. We'll take on some of your cap space. So we'll help you guys financially. And we'll take the headache of Venchenkoff off your thing. But we're going to get your draft picks. And we're going to get Davion. And that's the stuff we care about. It's the same kind of shit with Lowry and Goran and Precious. In some ways, Precious was the part of the deal that we really kind of wanted in the whole thing. Now that he's gone, and so be it. Whatever. We did trade Precious and we got some stuff back for him. So the Lowry deal has still got some stuff for it. But in some ways, once again, Vinchenkov is just the packing peanuts. In some ways, he's the part that the Kings said, yeah, we'll do this deal because this makes it sweeter for us. Yeah. I think that's what it is. I think in some ways, maybe Masai's ego told himself, well, we can try and sell it to Sasha and change his mind, even though he's already made up his decision that he doesn't want to be in the NBA this year. We can try and change him. Maybe Darko can talk to him and maybe get through to him, something like that. But if it's futile, it's futile. Fuck him. Who gives a shit? But I'm telling y'all, the Jalen McDaniels deal was too good to be true. And this is the part of it that's too good to be true. Does this make sense to you guys now? Is NBA teams don't just give you the farm for a shitty-ass McDaniels brother that's the worst McDaniels in the history of the league. I'm talking about Xavier, too. I'm telling you, Jalen McDaniels is a horrible player. And how the fuck did we just fleece them like that? Well, this is why. This is why right here. We take a salary cap amount of money for a guy who's just being a headache and doesn't want to show up. That's it right there. I figured it out right there. Mike's saying, I was talking more about JFL. He didn't look bad, and he's still signed, so that's the plan, maybe to keep JFL. Sasha is a non-factor at the moment. He was the bad contract we had to take to get Davion in 2 second rounds. There, boom goes the dynamite. Mike and I, once again, speaking in chorus, that he's reiterating the point that I just made, and like minds think alike. That he is exactly right. He was the bad part of the deal that we had to take to unload McDaniels and get those assets in the draft picks. You got to think about this. This draft pick is Jamal Shed. So this is Jamal Shed and Davion Mitchell. This is our point of attack guard bulldog defense for Jalen McDaniels. But you got to get a crusty old Bulgarian guy who ain't going to fucking show up. It's just part of the parameters and the deal right there. Mike is exactly on right. I'm going to give Mike a dunk for, saying something that I just said now, minutes and minutes ago, a long time ago. Mike said that. And we're on the same page on that for sure. Where's Logical Raptors Fanatic? All right, you're at 65, my guy. 65 dunks from Mike. All right, let's see. Let's keep going. Tristan Trey saying real supporters. That's right, real supporters. We're going to support this team whether they're up or down. And, well, let's get back up. Let's get back up, Rocky. That's right. Blackhawk saying the only issue I have with Sasha is that we are looking deep, and I wouldn't want to cut another guy for one that doesn't want to be here. Exactly. We want guys that are bought in. We want guys that believe in Masai and Scotty and Darko. And if this guy's half-assing it, if this guy's coming in, we don't want that toxic around. We don't want that kind of thing. In some ways, he doesn't fucking fit, y'all. Seriously. He's 28. And he just showed up the NBA last year, and he didn't even have a good year last year, really. The Kings, if he was so badass, why didn't the Kings use him more? Seriously. If he's so badass, why wasn't he a hit right away? I've seen guys come from Europe later in their life, and they're absolute badasses. I can talk about Jorge Garboza. I could talk about Arvydas Sabonis. I could talk about people like that came over later in age, and they were gangbusters right away. Well, this guy's so badass from Greece. Why didn't he fucking play for a shitty-ass Kings team last year? That's what I'll say to you guys right here. That's what I'll say. He seems like a headache. Let's just let him go. If we don't have to pay him jack shit and he really wants to go, that's probably what Ujiri's arguing with him about. We're not going to pay you any money if you're not coming to play for us. We're not going to pay you your contract. We want you to just leave. We have no buyout. You just fucking walk. You get your money from Greece. You go play where you want to play, but the Raptors won't pay you a damn dime because you didn't show up and give any services rendered. I mean, that's the way I would be if I was Masai Ujiri right now when it comes to Vinchenkov right there. Yeah. Most saying Grady's the best player on the court last night by far. I mean, we had a little discussion about this last night in the chat. I would say yes. In the end, that's only because of leadership and things. But he wasn't the most ethically clean with his game. He missed a lot of shots. And in some ways, I said earlier, Mo, it's partly because he probably bulked up and he's still finding his more muscly body and finding his shot. But man, Carlson, just partly because he came from nowhere, he's not a draft pick, and he was absolutely dominant on both ends of the court. That is really impressive, considering this is the first thing he's ever done in the NBA in a summer league game like this. And Carlson had no butterflies. No worries. Came in ice cold, as G said. cold-hearted and just coming in as a killer and doing it right. So you can say by far, but I say they're pretty close. And I had to deliberate whether I gave the number one star of the game to Grady Dick or to Brandon Carlson. It was closer to me. Maybe not to you. Maybe not to you. Mike saying Oshai's three was above the break. It wasn't a corner three. Darko talked about tweaking his three ball in college. Oshai was a good three ball shooter. Yeah, it's a good sign. We definitely want Abaji to be more prolific and successful from 3-point range. And yeah, that's a good distinction, Mike, that it wasn't a normal corner three like the ones he took last year. He actually took it on the break. I like it. I like it. Tristan saying, I would love Sasha, but Masai said the right thing will be done. Yeah, in some ways, like everything in life, we can't control everything. We can't control other people. We can control what we can control, ourselves, what we say, what we do. And in some ways, Masai understands what he can and cannot control. And in some ways, he's going to game whatever's happening with Vinchenkov to the best advantage for our team. And that's the thing we trust in him for. So in some ways, he's not letting them bully him around. He's not letting them push him around. He's not getting up from his seat because Jared Greenberg told him to get up. No, he's going to stand firm and he's going to fight for our team and our interests in the best way. And that's why I trust and love Masai Ujiri so much. Yeah, Mischief saying from Vision 6'9" to Vision 6'10" wingspan and up. Future looking bright. There you go, Mischief. Mischief, the big man can appreciate a big man's game. And Ulrich Komsche coming to the Raptors. That's right. I love it too, Jay. Always so good to see you in the chat. Blackhawk saying our game against Utah will be our biggest challenge. Yeah, I agree with that because they have a lot of their regular team there. They have Walker Kessler. They've got Keontae George. They've got a pretty good squad. And a lot of those guys have NBA experience, and they're going to be playing for the Jazz this year coming up. So that will be a big game on Wednesday. When we play the Utah Jazz, that is the big test. Tonight, not so much. Not so much. Hopefully, we just win and we kick some butt. Yeah, Monique is saying that Jamal Shed is locked in from day one. I agree. I feel like this guy is such an interesting person that as soon as he came out of the womb, he was locked in. It's just he was born that way. I feel like that's true about Jamal Shed. Seriously, he's a tough little guy. In some ways, when you see pictures of him on his Instagram, he looks taller than he is. But he is not that big of a guy. But he's so thick at his size. He's really a tenacious guy. And I am proud to have him in the Raptors jersey. And I think he's really proud to be on our team too. I think he is. And he's taking this very seriously. In some ways, his kind of leadership and his vibe will be very good for people like Scotty and the other guys up above. Because he brings a whole other level of tenacity and willing and wanting to win, that kind of stuff. He will push that factor up. Jamal Shed, locked in. And Mo is exactly right. I'm going to give you a dunk for that one because that's a very astute observation. This man is locked in, Mo. You're exactly right. Where's Monique on the here? We got 106. You're at the 106.5. 106.5. Classic rock. Yeah, there you go. Let's see. Mike saying Oshai also was pushing the ball nicely. Yeah, in some ways, the stuff that Oshai did different than last year was subtle, but Mike's picking up on it. He's picking up on it. That's right. Wayne saying telltale signs is our cohort of players must compete, if not dominate their cohort of opponents. Commentators said there should be a stat for the ball passing so many hands. Yeah, that we were passing the ball for better shot selection expertly. Yeah, that was what Candace Parker was trying to say. That, you know, the ball catches energy, and the more people that touch it, she really feels like there's an energy that flows through it. As a Hall of Famer in the WNBA, a champion in the WNBA, and a person of acclaim in the world of basketball, Candace Parker knows what she's talking about when she's saying the kinetics and the feel of the ball, the energy builds up as different hands touch it. And that's one of the great things about the system under Darko compared to Nick. Think about the Nick Nurse isolation heavy system where you don't get as much energy, you don't get as much cohesiveness and play off each other. That was a real big problem the last couple of years of Nurse coaching our team. Well, Darko's the opposite, and he really values it. And in some ways, that's just going to help teamwork. It's going to help chemistry. It's going to help our shots go in better too, because we're taking higher percentage shots instead of trying to force shit in crazy isolation ways like we did with Siakam and Nick Nurse a couple years ago. So yeah, this is really, really good. And I love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah, I'm telling you, that team is not that good. In some ways, we didn't play as clean as we could have. We could have actually beaten them by even worse if we had played more cleanly in the middle of the game. So even though they were very successful, I want Jama to be talking to them this morning in film session and practice on cleaning up the things they didn't do well in the middle of the game where they could not score and the other team was bombing threes and catching up on us. So there was things they can work on from last night for sure. For sure. Mo's not worried about Oshai. Yeah, I don't see why anybody would be worried about him for sure. Let's see. Mike is saying Carlson and DJ are more big league ready, in my opinion. Carlson needs size, but he could get minutes. Yeah, he might need more muscle. We'll have to see how he handles things in the post against a very, very strong big. In some ways, if he can hold his own, like really hold the position and not get back down too bad, he'll be all right. But we'll have to see. We will have to see. Yeah. So you think DJ Carton are more big league ready, in my opinion? I don't know. I don't know if that's true. I haven't seen enough. I will say this: insufficient data. One game is not enough. We got to see more tonight. And let's see how consistency carries. Hopefully with Carlson and Shed, and hopefully Walter can wake up and show some stuff. Because I think that there's some of these guys that didn't do so well last night that actually may be more big league ready. Actually, Neil saying use the two ways on the second half of back-to-backs. I think that's a smart strategy. That makes sense. Or maybe you use them on the night that is the night that's the lesser talent. Maybe you're playing the Hornets the first night and you got the Celtics the second night. You play the two ways the first night, save your vets, and play them the second night against the Celtics. That kind of stuff. Yeah, I like it, Neil. David's saying, yeah, at one point our summer league team had 15 assists on 18 buckets. Incredible. Yeah, last night. Yeah, in the beginning of the game, almost all of our points were off of assists, and that was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I can remember, summer leagues in the last couple of years, not when Scotty was there, where we had barely any assists and nobody was making any shots. Really, really bad. Really, really bad. Good job, Isaac, getting Lenny Wilkins today on the classic card. 50 points to Isaac Campbell. Getting that card right. I love it. I love it. I love it. Mo's saying, ready for tonight's game. Happy game day. Yeah, Nuggets, you're next. Nuggets. Strother, Strother, and Pickett and Strother and Tyson. They're the only three guys that have any NBA experience. The rest of the team is all undrafted and didn't even get drafted. So this team is not good. I'm telling you right now, we're going to kick the crap out of them tonight. Seriously. If we beat the Thunder like we did last night, we're going to definitely beat the Denver Nuggets tonight. If we don't, there's something very, very wrong that happened tonight. Yeah, seriously. Blackhawks saying, I don't care what people don't like about Dylan Brooks. Dylan can play. Yeah, I'm the same way with you. I'm a Dylan fan. Don't get me wrong. I'm just trying to say that he's a unique player at this point. I think that the league has like one guy that's kind of designated. Rodman was that guy in the past, the absolute villain. Meta World Peace was that guy for a bit in the league, right? Ron Artest. And I just say that that's who Dylan is right now. He's in that Rodman spot. And there's not more than one of them in the league. There's absolutely one guy who's absolutely hated and detested, and Dylan wears it well, and we love him for it. You know what? It's funny because, the videos of Dylan walking past Devin Booker and Anthony Edwards when they were doing their interviews after the game were hilarious. Because, look, those guys were so mad and frustrated, and they walk by, and then you look at all the comments in Twitter underneath those things, and, like, the Americans, some of the people down south are like, you know what? I fuck with Dylan Brooks because honestly, he's hilarious. No, I like this guy. It's weird because he's such a villain and he's such a troll that some people down there have to respect his troll game so much that they actually like him at this point. It's kind of hilarious. It's like he's so good at being a villain and he's just so out of control with doing the weird shit he does, like staring into space and walking in front of people's interviews, that he's getting the respect of haters. And in some ways, I think that's a huge accomplishment by Dylan Brooks in some ways, because the NBA wants him to be the villain, but there's people that like to root for the bad guy. And in some ways, he's got those fans. He's got real positive fans from us because we legitimately love him because he's on Canada. But there's starting to be fans that hate him but love to hate him because he's so entertaining. He's so good. Mo has gotten her membership re-upped. Thank you, Monique, for re-upping on the purple level as a member for 5 months now. There is a possibility I might start doing members-only streams when I do the watch-alongs because there's so many comments during the games. I may have it only be like the green names can write in during the watch-along. So we'll see. I'm still debating whether I'll do that or not. But thank you, Monique, for re-upping as a subscription on the channel. I appreciate that. Mike saying, I tried a blind guess. I didn't realize slow mode was on. I spelled Wilkins wrong, though. That's the problem. You want to get your timing right. Like in some ways, if you see David comment and it's coming up, know that that's probably when we're going to do the classic card. And that's when everybody wants to kind of save their timer so they're ready to guess. And you really only get one shot to get it right because the timer's there. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Yeah. I thought Lenny Wilkins is a fantastic coach. Sure, maybe he was a little past his prime when he showed up on the Raptors as a coach, but he had the respect of the league. He had a lot of respect of our older players like Kevin Willis and Charles Oakley, and that was the right coach for us at that time. In some ways, he needed to allow the talent of Vince, the leadership of Muggsy and Dell, and those guys to be in charge more and to just to be a player's coach. So I know the criticism of Lenny Wilkins is that, oh, he was too much a player's coach and he let the players run things. He didn't really do anything. That's bullshit. He was a figurehead. He set the tone. He brought a certain level of respect to our team when he came as our coach. In some ways, he's one of the most esteemed coaches in our history. And Raptors Nation would do better to honor and love Lenny Wilkins than to put him down. I would say that. Yeah, that's where I'm at with him. I love Lenny. I remember because I worked in the arena when Lenny was our coach, and he's just a calming, really important presence. In some ways, he may not be a loud, belligerent guy. He's kind of like a quiet mafioso don. And he's a so learned on basketball. If y'all think that Lenny Wilkins don't know jack shit about basketball, you're crazy. That man knows basketball. I'm telling you right now. Yeah. I'm telling you right now. Yeah. Tristan saying ice in the veins. Happy game day and laugh out loud at Logical. Yeah, yeah. Toronto Vibe is my best name so far. You like the Toronto Vibe to be the name for the WNBA team? That's not bad. Toronto Vibe. I don't know. It's going to be very interesting to see the name that they settle on for our WNBA franchise. It'll be very interesting to see the colors, the name, and what we're going to be looking like. They said it's going to be Canadian connected. That it's not necessarily going to be Toronto connected or definitely not Raptors connected. It'll be Canadian, country connected. And I think that's smart for marketing. I think that's smart. Yeah. W2, Raikyon. Yeah, showing up. Tristan recognizing Raptors comment people from Raptors official stuff here as one himself. That's right. That's right. Andrew's here saying Grady equals summer MVP. It looks like that so far. Good to see you, Andrew. Once again, Raptor Freak Andrew in the house. Yeah. I'd say last night he's looking good. He continue that leadership. And, well, if he starts hitting his threes, well, it's in the bag then. Yeah, Mike's saying the vibes of Canada. The vibes of Canada. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe, Mike. We may work on this a little bit. Mike's also saying, Tristan, I heard Ibaka turned Obama onto scarves. That makes sense. Of course, Serge Ibaka, the I do art, the original man, Mafuzi chef. He's turning on Obama to scarves. You know what I want to see? Get him on How Hungry Are You, Serge? Yeah. Get another season together and put former President Barack Obama on that show. That'd be a fun episode. Yeah, there you go. Alan's got Serge looking old. Hurt and old. I don't know if that's true, Alan Tam. I'm going to have to discredit you on this. Serge has had a very successful couple of years, winning championships in the German league for Bayern. So, yeah, no, Serge is looking still very powerful, at least in German basketball, and being like a top player on a championship team. So, yeah, it's not accurate. He may be hurt and old in your eyes, but that's not true. He's not hurt, and he's old. He's not too old to not play at a high level professionally in Germany and win championships. So I'll say that. Yeah, Tristan's laughing at Logical. And Wayne saying our summer league experience last year was dog shit and somewhat cursed our main team. I don't like that word. But the energy expressed yesterday is a telltale sign of our season to come. We're on track, Raptor Freaks. Yeah, I feel like Luke Wynn, I don't know how much you do as the GM of the 905. I know you drafted Miles Burns. Maybe you acquire the emergency players that we get during the season when we had so many injuries and had nobody able to play for 905 at a certain point last year. Whatever it is, you did better. Maybe it's Masai helping you out with the draft, bringing you a whole bunch of players, two ways, and Exhibit 10s are going to look good for y'all. Maybe it's just that you got size all of a sudden. I don't understand why y'all were trying to have the only big man on your team was McCurr last year. Nah, we got you better tools. And in some ways, Luke Wynn, as GM of the 905, I want to see you do better managing of your team this year. If you have any say on when people are available for the Raptors, well, make it very helpful to Coach Rajakovic. And also, as far as if you're going to bring in new guys, Jamias Ramsey was awesome last year. I don't know if you did that, though. I think that was Bobby Masai. I'm just saying, do a better job, Luke Quinn. I know you're new to the job and you're learning. And on the job learning is tough, especially as a GM in the G League. But yeah, I want this team to be better. And it signified that it's better on the Summer League last night. So 9-5 should be way better this year, too. That's what I have to say right there. I was saying, Dylan, you hate him, but if he's on your team, you love him. That's right. I was mad at Dylan when he came here and beat us in our home court and said, this is our house when he played for the Memphis Grizzlies. But I had to respect it too. He's like, well, wait, he is from Mississauga and he wants this to be his house. All right, just for tonight. It is his house because he won. It's just how it is. And Alan has his thumbs down to Bronny. Okay. That's such a non sequitur, but it's fun. I'm going to give Alan Tam a dunk just for that. You got to, dare I say it, DeMar DeRozan 10. Dare I say it? Yeah, let's see. Most saying would do the second day draft day again. Well, they're going to. This is the format going forward. The draft was too long. I guess people are getting old. They can't stay up till 1 a.m. to see, the Oklahoma City Thunder's 57th draft pick or some shit like that. That's the thing. That's why they split it up. And the Raptors are the beneficiaries and the winners of the first ever second day of the NBA draft by having so many picks, picking so many players up that day, having the first ever pick on a second day of a draft in Jonathan Mobo. In some ways, he's going to be a fun fact. Who's the first player ever picked on the second day of a draft in the NBA's history? Jonathan Mobo, Toronto Raptors, pick number 31, 2024. So that's kind of cool. In some ways, Scotty's buddy can be a Trivial Pursuit question at some point. Yeah, that's kind of cool in some ways if you think about it. Mischief saying Ulrich Komsche has the same height and wingspan as Giannis. That's what I'm saying. It's the same. It's the same. There's a lot that's the same there. And who knows? Maybe he could be a better shooter than Giannis in the long run. There's a lot of potential there. And Mischief seeing it. We're all becoming like Cowboy at this point. Cowboy was number one Komsche fan. Well, we're all going to be a little fanatical like Cowboy soon. Watch. We're going to be more like Cowboy on this one. I wasn't like him with Koloko, like I'm going to be with Komsche. I'm fully with Cowboy and riding with him on how he sees Ulrich. Yeah. Blackhawk saying the way Raptors front office is using the two-way contract for Ulrich is the correct way for raw prospects and best usage of the two-way contract. Draft and stash. Yeah, I love it. I think you're right too, Neil. I feel like we fucked around with our two-way too much last year. Maybe it's fun to have it on Ron Harper Jr. Maybe it's fun to have, I love Marquise, heart over height, all that stuff. Yeah. But in some ways, really, aren't we already an underdog enough that we have to have the most underdog player trying to make the league right now on our team? Nah, let's turn around and go get a Utah Ute that can shoot the three and he's actually a legitimate 7-footer and put him in that two-way contract. That's what I'm saying. Blackhawks right. We're getting better usage of our two-ways this year because they're going to be more talented and useful for both teams. And Ulrich is going to really flourish if he's correctly utilized in this way. We don't want to see any dropping the ball with 905 G League two-way kind of stuff like Nick Nurse, Delano Banton, and Christian Koloko. That shit was fucked up. That last year, Nick Nurse, how he fucked up Delano Banton's career, and Christian Koloko was all confused and messed up in his rookie year. So, yeah, we can't have that kind of shit happening right now. A very, very clear communication between both front offices of the 905 and the Raptors and the two ways and the way they're going to be coming back and forth. It needs to be done smart. Blackhawk saying, if you have to pick between DJ or JFL, who you pick? I want Carton. I'm sick of JFL. I've never been a big fan of JFLs. In some ways, I see him as a very selfish player, somebody who's very inefficient. I've seen his type all over the years. In some ways, he thinks he's Allen Iverson, but he's not. And that's the thing that's the problem. Only one guy can be Allen Iverson and be Allen Iverson in his league. But that's the thing. Allen Iverson made all these spawns of little guys who want to be the scorer who aren't really trained as being point guards. And I'm sick of it. I don't want those types anymore. You better come as a point guard like Jamal Shedd. You better come as a point guard like Marquise Noel. And DJ Carton was showing point guard kind of stuff last night. So I prefer Carton over JFL. And, well, he's the one who's got the two-way, not JFL right now. So that's an interesting part of it right there. Mike saying Davion is possibly a Raptors for a while if things go well. I think he's bought in. Hearing him do his first interview with the Raptors, I think he's really excited at a chance at a new lease in life. The Kings really did not get the most out of him as they could. A number 9 pick in the draft. And in some ways, he was in limbo. He was kind of in a bad place behind Fox and other players on the Kings and not get anywhere. Well, he has a real potential and spot to carve a role and a part in our rotation. And in some ways, that's all he wanted was a chance. And well, the Raptors are going to give it to him. And in some ways, he may be very, very grateful and loyal because of that. It doesn't hurt that he has a young buck that has studied him and loves him and looks up to him as our number 1 pick in the 19th pick this year, Jacoby Walter. The Baylor connection's important. And it's important for Mitchell and for Walter. And that's the fun thing about it. I think that Davion, I think you're right, Mike. If he fits and he blows up, if he all of a sudden way more consistent, he's actually really good with his 3 on the down low. People don't talk about that. He's going to do some certain things for us in a big way. Yeah, he could be a part of our long term for sure. For sure. For sure. Wayne saying, I noticed the Bruce Brown talk has died down. I'm not crazy for Bruce, but he is not a distraction. He's a good role player if healthy. If not, his trade value is positive. Yeah, you know what? I'm trying to make peace with Bruce Brown Jr. In some ways, I've never really wanted him on our team. And that's not fair to him. In some ways, I should actually give him a little bit of a chance. He wasn't absolutely horrible. There were certain things he did in the really bad part of our season last year that were useful at times. But I also still felt like he was cavalier and kind of casual about things. He did have a dumb comment about wanting to play for Tibbs. But he has also said he loves Timbits. And he did show up for Summer League. He did show up for the signings of Scotty and Emmanuel last Monday. So he's showing an investment. And he has very much said, I don't understand why Raptors fans don't accept me. And in some ways, I feel bad about that. So I'm going to be like Wayne. I think Wayne's exactly right. We need to be accepting of Bruce Brown and allow for him to be successful for the Raptors if he is going to be suiting up for us and playing for us this year. We can't just be like, I hate him. Why isn't he traded yet? It's not helpful for anybody. If he's going to be around and we can't move him yet, if we're not going to move him, we may actually keep him in the plans because he is being a good citizen and he is all about playing with Scotty and the crew. So it's interesting. Seeing his goofy ass with that cowboy hat last night made me think, man, I got to give Bruce more of a chance. And I think you're right. Now, there's an interesting deal that Monique wanted to bring up that she didn't get time to the other day that I want to talk about real quick. They're talking about moving Brandon Ingram from the Pelicans. And there is a rumor that the Raptors could flip Bruce Brown, one other rotation player, and a draft pick to get Brandon Ingram on the Raptors. How would y'all feel about that? If Bruce Brown all of a sudden got traded and we got Brandon Ingram, a taller Kobe Bryant on our team all of a sudden, because that's what he does. He studied Kobe Bryant inherently, and he mimics his exact kind of body movements on the court. That's part of the secret of success to Brandon Ingram, is that he's a Kobe disciple, and he plays just like him, even though he's way taller than Kobe was. I love Brandon Ingram. I think that he's a great player, and if he was in a Raptors jersey, I wouldn't be upset about this. But this is a deal that is being talked about right now as a possibility. It may mean we have to trade one of our other pieces that's going to be in our rotation already. I don't know, maybe like Oshai or something. And then all of a sudden we've got Brandon Ingram instead. I'm telling you, that's attractive to me. I don't know how y'all feel about it. I would do a poll, but we're almost at the end of the stream real quick. Yeah. Andrew's saying McDaniel's trade was still good. I would have traded him for just that, Portland's second. Yeah. In some ways, everybody wanted McDaniels off the team, Wayne specifically. And well, he's gone. And we actually got some really good players. We got 2 Bulldog point guards. They're going to play really good defense for us. So very, very good trade. Another Masai fleece, if not for the Vashenkov circus and bullshit. Everything else is great. Everything else is great. Somebody's saying, well, Sasha should just give back the money and go to Greece. That's what I'm saying, too. That's how it should be worked out. If the world is a right and just place, which I'm not totally sure it is at this point, Sasha Venchenko should do the proper thing and say, well, I cannot accept this money. I'm going back to Greece to play there. And Masai say, okay, I understand. All right, we're not paying you jack shit. Thank you. Bye. That's how it should be. Seriously. Blackhawk saying Bruce Brown is all right. Yeah, I'm coming around on him. I'm not a hater of him. In some ways, I have not understood you. And then in some ways, your dedication and your showing up goes a long way, Bruce. I'm going to tell you that right now. It's going a long way with the Raptor freaks right now. G saying, I agree, Wayne. Let's just support Bruce like we do everyone else at this point. Yeah, I'm with you guys on this 100%. In some ways, I was like, yeah, I get Bruce Brown off my team near the end of the season when it seemed like the trade talk and all this kind of stuff. Draft day didn't happen. And well, he's showing up to Toronto. He's showing that he cares. He's showing that he's committed. You're on my team. All right. I can get behind you. And that's how we should all be about him. He's maybe a little goofy with his country motif. But hey, Bruce, well, I like you. I'm starting to like you more and more. And especially if you show up and you do amazing things for us this season to help us win, yeah, you could get on our good side real quick. And all of a sudden, Bruce Brown Jr. is a Raptor legend, like a Bismack Biyombo or a Kawhi Leonard, something like that. Yeah, that's what we want to see. That's right. Yeah, Smooth saying the Greek team will pay him more anyway. He's irrelevant. Exactly. I don't know if that's exactly true, though. I mean, I think he's supposed to get like 6 or 7 million this year, Smooth. And if they're only going to pay him like 3 million to play, yeah, I don't know. Maybe they pay him more. I don't know. Maybe they do pay him more. I'm not educated on this. If I'm wrong and some Greek league fan comes in here and tells me, no, you're wrong, they're going to pay him way, way more. Okay, well, why does he just nil his contract with us and just fucking go get that money then? That's what I say there, yeah. Blackhawk saying, Tom, it will work out. It's a long summer, and Sasha ain't hurting for money. Either way, we just got to be patient. And honestly, let's not covet him. Seriously, guys. If you're coveting Zveshenkov to come to the Raptors, don't hold your breath. Don't waste your time. Don't let yourself be heartbroken, Tom Duke. Who gives a shit? Fuck that guy, is what I say to him. People got to come correct if they come to the Raptors. That's why when you got drafted, yeah, he's emotional about falling in the draft. He's not emotional because he got picked by the Raptors. No, everything's good in that way. See, first impressions do matter, guys. First impressions do matter. Sasha, you fucked it up. Logical saying Bruce Brown is like a glue guy and a dirty worker, similar to Draymond Green. He's terrible when he plays with less talent, but gets better and better with teammates. I think this is probably true. And that's why teams that are higher up and like competing for a championship, he's more attractive to have on your team, I'm sure. Yeah, I'll agree with Mike on this. Andrew saying, I was on the Bruce Brown trade. Maybe after spending more time with the team, he'll finally mesh and look like Denver Bruce Brown. Yeah, I mean, I want to give him a chance. I mean, we can't do anything otherwise. Why make it toxic? Why make it negative? Let's support him. He's a Raptor. He's in a Raptor jersey. He's showing up. He's not holding out. He's not being like Sasha. So why are we so mad at Bruce? We shouldn't. We got to give him a chance, especially if he shows up and he helps add it up to winning for us this season. That'll be awesome. Most saying W stream, W vibes. Keep at it. Always good times are here and approaching. Go Raptors for life. Raptor Freak Crew strong. And there's my cutoff. It is 1 minute past my cutoff. And I'm going to finish it up real quick. Thank you, Monique. Wayne saying positively G and logical. It could be the worst. Plus, he got a ring for contributing to a championship team. Yeah. In some ways, he's laughing. He's got a good contract. In some ways, I admire Bruce Brown for being like just blowing with the wind. However it's going to go. He's like, hey, listen, Masai wants me to be here. I'm happy. If Masai wants to trade me, I'm happy. I'm just happy, y'all. I got my country music. I got my cowboy hat. I'm happy. I got some Timbits. Hey, I can respect that he's kind of going with the flow of life and not letting himself dictate life. He's not trying to control everything like LeBron. And Bruce Brown's just kind of going with the flow of life and accepting life on life's terms. And in some ways, that's very admirable. And I like it. I like it a lot. Blackhawks said, I'm watching the game again right now. See, Blackhawks rewatching the game from last night because he's enjoying it. I mean, this is how it happens sometimes. We get really excited at the beginning of the Summer League. And, well, you want to rewatch the Summer League game over and over. Mike saying, I was comparing the 3 two-ways and who will get the most big league time. Yeah, I really think that in some ways Carlson's breaking in case emergency. He should get time up there to develop, obviously. But I think that in some ways, Kamshay should get more time up on top than Carlson, even after last night, because I think it'll be more productive. Part of it is that Kamshay has an NBA body more than Carlson does already. It's like Kamshay has the strength to mix it up with NBA big guys like Draymond Green already, and Carlson may not. We'll have to see as we go on. Summer League's something else, especially when you're the tallest guy on the court. Yeah, but when you go out there and there's tall guys your same height and they're stronger than you, it's a little bit different. Now, Kamshay's got more strength, so I could see him being more successful in the NBA immediately in certain ways, not offensively, than Carlson. Yeah. Most saying Jamal Shed post-game interview was pretty nice. He's really pro. He's got it. He's understanding. Yeah, he understands what his future and destiny is because he's making it himself. And I'm all about it. Jamal Shedd's awesome. I think that in a lot of ways, people were like, yeah, Jacoby Walter and Jamal Shedd are really good players. And the Raptors on the down low just got some really good competitors. Thank you for the next cutoff. Isaac Campbell at 11-11. 11-11. Make a wish. Raptors win championships. Many going forward. That's right. Mike saying, if Carlson's three ball continues to be solid, he could get minutes off the bench with Kelly at C and Carlson at power forward. The bench spacing is crazy. Well, I would just flip them because Kelly's shorter than him. So Carlson would be the center and Kelly would be the power forward in my eyes. I don't know. Maybe it's where you say where their spacing on the floor is and where they're at. Maybe. Full Ass is saying, I'm late to the party. Brendan is the future. He likes Carlson a lot. There you go, Kareem. I like it. Wayne's saying, that's a great point, Mike. My first impression was bulk. We need a bit more bulk on some of our players that we know will be addressed. Carlson with 10 more pounds is with weight is actual trouble. Yeah, I think this is Wayne's kind of fleshing out my comment just a little bit ago. The Comshay's got the NBA shoulders and arms already, and Carlson may not. And that is, he may need a little Grady bulk up around Christmas. We may find that in the early part of the season, where Carlson's pushed around a little bit too much, and he has to hit the weight room and do kind of what Grady did last year. So I could see that. Blackhawk saying, logical Raptors fanatic. I would put Kelly at power forward and Carlson at just what I just said. Carlson protects the rim better, but this is summer league. Well, it depends on which end of the floor we're talking about. You know, Carlson down low, in the center defensively, sure. And that's usually where I call the defensive positions is from the defensive side. But if Mike's looking at it from an offensive side, maybe Carlson's on the outside and Kelly is playing more inside. And then that may more portend that he's the power forward because he's shooting threes. We got to get used to 5 shoot threes at this point is basically the thing that I want to get used to. I always look at the positions from the defensive side. And if Carlson's the shot blocker, the rim protector down low more than Kelly, that's why I call him the 5. That's what I say there. But Mike may be looking at it from the offensive side with what he's saying. Mike's saying Blackhawk, they would be interchangeable, and Kelly would handle the bigger guys, and Carlson is a rim protection against faster guys. So maybe the secondary help coming from the other side, and Kelly's actually going to do the muscling of a big guy like Embiid and funnel him maybe to Carlson, who will block him then. Yeah, I get what you're saying, Mike. It makes sense. Yeah. Thumbs up from Blackhawk. And remember, Precious Boucher combo. Now picture that with real height and free balls. That's nasty. Yeah, it could be. Yeah. Thumbs up from Blackhawk again. And Kareem saying, I guess spending 5 years in college is beneficial in more ways than one. Dude understands his position as a center and still gets to his spots to shoot the three. I was actually more impressed with his defense. Yeah, that's definitely true. That's something we need to say. Brandon Carlson's 25. It's not like he's a young draft guy coming in. He took the whole time and was during the COVID pandemic was at Utah. So he had a lot of schooling in college. And this goes beyond saying. And sometimes if you slow cook and the crock pot, the food, it tastes better because you took longer to do it in a slower pace. And they actually really learned the lessons better. These one and done guys like Grady, I worry about them because there's a lot of schooling and stuff they should have learned on the lower levels. Well, Carlson's a good example of fundamentally being right because he was in school for so many years. And that's a really good point about Brandon is that his 5 years at Utah have been exceptionally helpful to him in what he looked like last night. Yeah, Blackhawk saying, Battle's catch and shoot looks good. I want to see more of his defense so I can make horrible puns like Battle is battling. Well, I want to say a nod was given by Ujiri when he was on the broadcast saying that, we want to develop shooters like Battle. So wait, Masai, did you just make a nod that Jamison Battle is in the plans for the season coming up on the 905 at least? Is he going to be our Kevin O'Banner Exhibit 10 coming in? I know that Quincy has one already, but are you able to do more than one Exhibit 10? Is he just going to be on 905 and Drew Jones is going to have him? Because I think that he's worth having around, Jamison Battle, to try and develop further, at least through our G League system. I don't think he'll be on the main squad, but hey, give him a spot. He played really good last night. I'm with you on that. Really, really impressed with that. Yeah. Let's see. Blackhawk saying Brandon Ingram will get expensive, but he would look good with us. It'd be a weird look. It'd be interesting. As long as he's not toxic, as long as he's not a distraction, as long as he's winning and helping us win. That's what I care about. Kareem saying, I'm so convinced on this Brandon kid becoming a great player. I'm already thinking of nicknames. All right. Carlson. Carlson. Yeah, I don't know. We have to figure it out. His name is not very good for it. We're gonna have to figure it out. We're gonna have to figure it out. We'll figure it out, Kareem. I'm sure at some point we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Wayne saying Brandon Ingram is a good player and he would be an attractive trade with Bruce. However, I'm not a fan. He just exemplifies hip hop attitude in a negative sense. However, if it helps, I'm in. Support the front office. Yeah, there may be a little bit of risk. We know that Brandon is very much a cannabis guy, like I am. I don't know. I don't know. Ingram is such a great talent. In some ways, he's like Davion Mitchell. He's gotten forgotten and kind of left behind. I think the disrespect that happened to him while he was on Team USA last year at FIBA World Cup, in some ways, has soured him and made him in a weird place. Maybe coming to Toronto and having new life breathed into him would be a really good thing for him. You could ask Kawhi Leonard about that, Brandon Ingram. I don't know. It's an interesting thought exercise. It's not one that I just flat out say, no way. That's usually a sign that it may be good. If I'm like, Ingram on the Raptors, interesting. Mike saying the Pelicans would want like Pirtle and Bruce in a first. I don't know. Well, would they? I mean, they just let Jonas go. Are they good at center? I don't know what they'd want exactly. It could be something like that. Well, we have other centers coming up. I don't know what is possible. In some ways, I don't live on the moon. I don't know what Bobby and Masai have that's tangible or real that could be in talks for a Brandon Ingram. I have no idea. Yeah. Blackhawks enjoying it. He's going to watch that game over and over again all day. He's just going to put it on repeat and watch it over and over. Yeah, we're going to have a good bench. I agree with you. Mobo is definitely bigger than 6'6". Yeah, I think he's about 6'9". I think he said that himself. All right, I've gotten to the end of the chat. Let me just do the wrap up. Good job by the Raptors beating the Oklahoma City Thunder last night by 25. The point differential matters. They're currently sitting in second in the Summer League by point differential. You won't know that because the way they order it, because they put it alphabetical and they put us all the way at the bottom. But if they did it right, they'd have Toronto in second after Orlando, who beat their team by 27. So we're in a good position to hopefully play for the championship for Summer League. Denver is who we're playing tonight at 9:30. They're not very good either. Their key player is Julian Strother, their rookie from last year, and Jalen Pickett after that. The rest of them are no names. And even their draft pick is out for the season now. Deron Holmes getting injured right away in Summer League is too bad and is very sad. So this Denver team may be even worse than the Oklahoma City team that we played last night, guys, just so y'all know. And on my 5 stars of the game for last night, Grady Dick, Brandon Carlson, DJ Carton, Jamison Battle, and Jamal Shed. Very, very happy. Leo Routens is saying there's a calmness to life lived in gratitude, a quiet joy. So have gratitude and you can have a calmer life. I don't know. Things aren't very calm right now, Leo. Things are kind of crazy and upside down. And in some ways, I hate it. Yeah, really, really happy to hear that Christian Coloco was in the house last night and talking to the Raptors. This is a very important day in our WNBA Fantasy League. I have a 4-point deficit to make up with Cool Cat on the last day of this week. She's beating me by 4. Mojo's got a commanding lead over JP. David is losing to Fiercey. And MK, the champ, is beating Kareem very badly. And then James is winning his matchup also against We the Best Race Mode Daily. Y'all, check out the Instagram stuff that I have on community tab in the channel. 5 years ago, we were talking about a rain storm that happened in Kensington Market. So check that out. And apparently, let me see something here. Let me see. Okay, that's a BS site. So somebody's saying that DeMar DeRozan commented about me. No, that was a spam. That is not true. All right, y'all, let's get out of here. Thanks for watching me today. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And join the channel like Monique did today if you want to. It's going to be fantastic. Mike's saying the Pels don't have a center at the moment, and that's how the money makes sense if Ingram is on the max. Okay, well, Mike, I don't know. I love Jakob a lot. Some people have said that he doesn't fit because he doesn't shoot the 3. In some ways, I'm starting to feel like we've got some center guys. If Coloco's back in the mix all of a sudden, maybe I do make this trade as much as I love the big Austrian guy. I don't know. This is weird. Blackhawk saying we must stop trashing Jalen McDaniels. He got us Jamal Shed and Davion Mitchell plus future picks. There you go. I like that, Neil. I'll give you a dunk for that. Stop trashing Jalen McDaniels and Bruce Brown. I'm all about that. You got the Siakam today, guy. It's 43 dunks for Neil. 43 at that. All right. Thanks for watching me. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. I'll be back tomorrow. Touch grass. It's a beautiful Sunday. And tonight, 9:30, watch the Raptors again. We'll react to the game tomorrow at 9:30 on Monday morning. reaction to the Denver game tonight. Yeah, thank you, Cool Cat. Game tonight. Let's go. Let's go, Coach. Let's go, Raptors. I love seeing the leadership Gray did. Keep it up. Jacoby Walter, I'd love to see you wake up tonight and do something special tonight. Jamal Shed, you're a badass, as advertised. And Brandon Carlson, wow. Wow. I have to say, wow. Wow. All Rich, look out. All Rich Comshay. Whoa.